Fell deeds await, now for wrath and now for ruin. What's the crack, lads? How are we getting on? I'm a cool purple so I can ban them. Wait, did someone do something funky? Hang on a second. Wow! Free viewers! I could just stream Elden Ring PvP. Thank you, Chili. Alright, let's have a look here. See, what is everyone saying? Don't get glassed. Is this Twitch Rivals? Yes. Finally, at long last, Twitch Rivals. How are we keeping? Oh, dirty cup of tea. How are we keeping? Imagine not just blocking cheap best viewers on. Hey, what's up, Wraith? Pablo, hello. Kangaroo. Breeze. The Insurbans. Goat Servant even. Ingram. Lily, hello. Chili Neandalier, shitter of the Urge Tree. Or the Turd Tree, I should say. Welcome in, welcome in. How are we all keeping? Looks like no one can beat Lucy. What's up, gamers? This is a no slur chat, okay? We can't use the G word, okay? I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Darcy Osiris, cool. Alright, now that should be working, hopefully. Assuming everything is going well. But yeah, welcome. Oh, sorry. You can't use the name of the most oppressed group, obviously. Real and true. Being so sincere at this very moment. How are we all doing? That's a little bit fucking better. So how are we all doing? Are we all excited? Are we all excited for the tourney? So unfortunately, because it was such late notice and I forgot to ban... What's its face? The funny Storm Assault. We're just gonna leave it in. That shouldn't be there, but we'll leave it in. That was a little bit of a silly doo-doo garbage moment, but we're okay with shit happens. But we do have our first fight between the wonderful, the amazing Osiris versus Darcy Scout, also known as Poo Piggy. But yes. We do have both of our contestants in. I don't know who's who. The statues are staring at each other. I think it's fine. It's in the rule set, so I'm not going to begrudge anyone for using it. It's just a silly goose moment. But yes, get into your respective corners. I'm going to guess. Let me just make sure that all the players are as they should be. Blue, red. Yeah, that looks about right. Is that okay? Huh? I might need to restart this. Why is that not working? Huh. Oh, that would explain it. Blue. There we go. Alright, we fixed it. Osiris J and Darcy. There we go. We figured it out. So Darcy's in blue, apparently on the side. Versus the spears of Osiris? Is that backwards? Hang on a second, I'm just making sure. Wrong Chow? Okay, no worries. Boop. Backwards? How, though? Darcy. Cyrus. Now we should be fixed. Okay, we're sorted. We fixed it. Alright. Thanks, everyone. Sorry, you know the usual. We start turning and then everything stops working. What's the poise cap? There is none. You can cope and piss and shit about it. Alright, so looking at it here, we do have the 60 Vig, 37 Endurance, and 54 Strength on the side of Darcy. And then, of course, Osiris is on the 32 end, 57 strength. Strength versus strength. You can do the mathematics, lads. It's not that difficult. Both of them are going to be well over 100 by a fairly substantial margin. So, I don't know. Either way. We do have both of our players in. Let's crack on. We're only 5 minutes behind. We're never late, nor are we early. We arrive precisely when we mean to, as the bolt is on its way, and away it goes. And the physics coming out from both. Darcy, of course, going to be on the PSGS. She's been very impressive with it so far. Versus the side of Osiris. And Osiris is steadily becoming quite the player here as well. As we see that run attack then that gets that, and a trade that comes through. Very much in the favor of Osiris so far. Darcy just a little bit behind by about, well, I say a little bit behind, fairly substantially behind, about 2 hits behind, and these jumps here are going to be quite dangerous into a scythe as well, as we are going to, oh nice, but the trade comes through, and that is starting to even out. Osiris just about managing to roll that one out. Of course, he's resetting to that long neutral, as he has a habit of doing, that kind of stutter step in neutral. And of course Darcy here is kind of chilling like a villain, looking to get those interrupts there, tries to go for a quick poke, but unfortunately Osiris is nowhere to be found. Darcy taking a smidgen of damage, but the back stabu Fisha, real, goes in there, tries to get that. However, we are going to see that nice hit. Darcy's going to be hit by the chilling mist into the schmicks with the run R1 on the side. Of course, the side has a very dangerous schmicks game, as we're going to see Darcy here chilling in neutral. Is going to get that. We do see that attempted a roll catch. Good roll out there from the side of Darcy, as we do see that space out into a punish. Tries to go for that roll catch. Does manage to get it into a crouch R1. Good roll out there. And good discipline on the side of Darcy. Although I believe we're going to be 1 or 2 hits away from Darcy being put away, as we do see Osiris going for that. And the off-stock comes through. Literally the off-stock. And that is going to be Darcy taking the first round in this best of 5. Nicely done. That was a pretty good fight. I will say, there was some really... Darcy got thrown... This is something that I've seen happen to Darcy quite frequently. This is a weird thing, is that the momentum will be lost and she'll just take an awful lot of damage. So like if I watched some of the last tournaments, whatever happened, if I watched what happened last time, she got hit by an awful lot of poison mists and stuff like that, and it did actually catch her. So that's just a small little part of her play that I think needs to be kind of adjusted in order for that. But Osiris is doing a good job. I think he needs to be more active in neutral, just to try and force mistakes from the side of Darcy. But you know what? Listen, I'm not there. They are. What the hell do I know? As a kaboom comes out. And the players are going to have their little sip. I'm going to have that myself. And we're going to see both players going for this. We do see the chilling mist. Ooh, the frost stomp there, just to keep a little bit of neutral pressure as the interrupt comes through, and the attempted roll catch comes through as well. Good roll out there on the side of Darce, as we do see that those run attacks come through, but she's going to be able to roll all of them. All of them will be rolled, and she's going to reset to this little bit of a neutral, goes for crouch R1. The jump comes through, but she's immediately taking pressure. Not going for the quick poke there. Ooh. Actually managing to be hit with that rolling attack, and she's going to go in for that nice bit of pressure. Oh, the interrupt comes through there. Osiris getting a little bit greedy, but as we see here, she's getting an insane amount of damage off here at pretty much safety. And that jump over. Oh, and the crouch R1 comes through into another crouch R1, into another one. Into that attempted punish and the aggression by Osiris, but unfortunately, oopsie daisy, it is going to be 2 to the side of Darcy. Alright, let me get this challenge thing fixed, folks. Apparently I only changed the YouTube one, and I do have Mendo, thank you so much. Jesus, thank you for the sub, brother. Here, we'll just pin it. I'll fix it during one of the breaks. I've just pinned it. I need to unpin at the end of stream. Cool. Alright, well Darcy's up. This is now match point. Will Osiris be able to come back? No worries. I'll fix it during one of the breaks, or in between sets. I don't know why it's being difficult. But either way, and to answer your question, Rocky Rock Throw, I don't believe there are any mages in this tourney, but we could be wrong. We might see someone come out later on. And yes, thank you, Mendo. I do appreciate it. Alright, and 3, 2, 1. Let's get the show on the road. As myself and the players are going to have a little sip. Ah, lovely. As we are going to see both players here. Is it? What the hell is... Oh, it's an LGS. That would stand to reason, as we are going to see Darcy now force back. Goes for those jump R2s. Goes for a rolling attack there, which I don't think is a terrible idea. But it is going to unfortunately roll into that crouch R1. Possibly expecting the standing R1. Again, trying to condition just a little bit Osiris to go for those standing R1s as opposed to the crouches. But we do see the swap over into the Great Cat. However, Darcy may be playing too close. A little bit too memey, as we are going to see these swaps now be punished. I think the PSGS was working, and it's this is certainly not working here, as we do see the attempted to get the piercing fang. Osiris has taken an awful lot. Ooh, nicely done. Osiris has actually taken a hell of a lot of damage. How did you get so good at it? Doing far too many tourneys. And I got the players mixed up in my head. GG's. So the answer is not great. I just done a bunch of tourneys. 3. Congratulations, Darcy. Good round. Very, very good round. Let me mark the score. That is going to be Darcy taking it in a sweep. We're trying a slightly different, more chilled out style today, as opposed to the very shoutcasty stuff. Go, wet peanuts? Real. Let me get this challenge link sorted. So the next players, we're skipping Ladle Lover and Axie, just for the time being, but we're going to jump immediately onto Embern and Breeze. Let me just get all of my shenanigans sorted here. Beginners 12, there we are. Breeze, Embern. Okie dokie. Let me get this Nightbot thing fixed up. It is pinned anyway, so it's not really relevant, but I'd sooner have it ready. Authorize that, please. 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 Ciao. There we go. I thought I had that adjusted. I am a silly goober. Alright, there we go. Now challenge should be working. Unless I've done goofed horribly. Cool. Alright. So, one of the things Industry Cam is way more smooth and less nauseating. The reason why is because my computer isn't isn't struggling. KJL's computer was having a hell of a lot of trouble towards the end. I'm just waiting for Embern to get in. She should be here in just a moment. Should be here in just a moment. But yeah, that's the only reason that I can think of why it wouldn't be working particularly well. Is simply for the PC made out of gelatin. Yeah, that's all it is. Alright, I think we have both of our players. Let me just get the score sheet set up. Sorry, folks. Breathe. Cool. And then the other one. Embern. Cool. Alright. Let's crack on then. We have both of our players in. It is in fact working. That's crazy. Who knew? Now you know, Darcy. You have been given the critical informations, my dear. Alright. Both players. At the ready. Is going to be Breeze. With these Gugs main bird Gugs versus Embern. Actually, let's just take a quick peek at the builds before we crack on. As is usual, on the... Oh, dear. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Embern is on a Dimka Cook. That's terrifying. Wacky. Off. Uh-oh. Rack. Oh, dear. Alright, let's get the show on the road. Boom. Alright, so I met this in bracket. Oh, he is. I have been on the receiving end of a build like this before. It is definitely something. The off wacky here, she's going to be playing either for chip or she's going to be playing off of those R2s, which are going to be really strong. Breeze going for that. The chill wind, if you will. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. That's Vi? Yes, it is Vi. Because it's cool. Yes, yes it is. And we do see both players now kind of chilling with this long neutral. The run R2 is going to initiate there on the side of Embern. And she's just going to reset to this neutral, which I think is better suited to her. Unfortunately, Breeze here is going to have to initiate these fights here. And that is what that initiation looks like. Jesus. Yeah, the R1, L1. Oh, into a Bestial Roar as well to get that extra little bit of damage. Uh-oh. Breeze is going to be in a spot of bother here. He doesn't really have many initiation tools outside the run R1s, and they are telegraphed from Kilo. And we see some really nice reaction rolls come out here on the side of Embern as well. She's nowhere near getting hit. Now, obviously... Oh, the run attack comes through. It's not going to work. Obviously speaking here, the Halberd does have a range advantage. Same with the Gugs. But... This is both variations of range here are very, very dangerous for Breeze. Oh, he did manage to get that interrupt though. That was very, very lucky. What Breeze also needs to do is he needs to be aware of when Embern is going to pressure so he can get that hyper armor in before she does. Or even just go for an R1 press and say, no more for you. And there we go. The Gugs comes out there and both sides are relatively even. About 300 HP in the difference. And there you go. And that's... Oh, and the wall bounce there from the side of Embern. That's actually kind of cool. The Bestial Roar here, there's basically 3 ranges where Breeze needs to be on his toes. If he tries to initiate too early, the Rack is going to basically say no. If he gets too close, the Dagger is there to R2 him. And at very long range, he can't really chill in neutral. Embern actually has like 3 axes of attack basically sorted as we see that. Yep, there you go. And it just goes to town. Absolutely goes to frickin' town. Holy sheesh. Yeah. R2, L1, R2. Yeah, and then the Blink Bolt comes out then as a means of finishing it. He's on 174 HP. He has everything that he does is more or less reactable. The only reason that Embern is going to get really hit here on paper is if she makes a mistake and initiates too early. So this is actually like a really nasty spot. And speaking of blunders, uh-oh. She does still have Tear. Oh, she's actually gone for the swap, though. Very, very good play here coming out on the side of Embern. Very good. And then the L1 comes through there. And that's going to be a point to Embern. Nice, Sue. Like I said, Breeze is going to be stuck in a really bad position here because he doesn't have very many initiation tools that just can't be like, you know, L1'd away and gone, no more. You are not allowed close to me. This is my space. Embern actually read the rules. I'm so proud. Alright, both players are in. Breeze in blue. Embern in red. The lady in red. Alright, Bolt is out. A little bit of sip. Give me some sip. Run attack comes through there on the side of Breeze. Again, he has to be so cautious here on those on initiating every single engagement. Oof. The L1 there was definitely a good idea, and now we see that the hyper armor might actually be a reasonable way of doing it. That's actually kind of... I actually think that the staying on the two-handed Zwei here might actually be a better idea. The Halberd there can just get called out by so much bullshit that it's kind of ridiculous. Embern getting a bit overly enthusiastic there on staying in. You hate to see it. But the reset there into that neutral. Oh, Blink Bolt comes through to try and initiate. I believe she may have been on the wrong swap. Good run R2 came out there, though, from the side of Embern. That was actually pretty close to landing. If she whiffs with the dagger and sets up for the L1, she actually might be in a much better spot. And I can see by her play, basically what she's looking for is, he goes for a run R1 from Kilo, and then she can just L1 into it, and there's nothing he can do. But, at the same time, she's setting up these opportunities for Breeze to actually get a punish. Ooh, nice. Good run R2 that comes out there, which is definitely a good means of initiating for Embern, but unfortunately it might not guarantee a poise break. So she's actually taking somewhat of a risk here. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to see the L1. No, we don't. Both players are playing very, very careful. Embern is slowly but surely getting chipped down, but a hit is now on Breeze. Both players are kind of resetting. If Embern is going to continue putting out these whiffs from Kilo, she's just going to get chipped down slowly but surely based off of like little mistakes. She can also play off the strafes here, which is interesting. But, however, just walk into it, bro, actually works there on the side of Breeze, which, you know, that's basically what he's trying to do here. That's the whole conceit of his build. If you try and engage in my space on terms that I'm comfortable with, I'm going to press the L1 button as well. And we both have hyper armor. Yippee! So, it's going to be a very slow fight, I feel, here from both of our players, as neither of them necessarily has tools to initiate outside of, like, little bits of chip. I do think that Embern could afford to be a little bit more reckless with the, I say reckless, but a little bit more aggressive with the with the main dagger, simply for the fact that she can still get that guaranteed poise chip and stuff. But Breeze is doing a decent job here of throwing her back every time, and then the bestial roar is going to be punished. The R2 comes through. 1700 to 100 and 1100 HP, so there's a fair bit in the distance, and of course Breeze does have his tier as well, although that may well proc yet, as we do see the L1 come through there. Embern is going to be taking another little bit of damage. She's very, very cautious here on these approaches. There you go, the R1's there to get that bit of chip, force a mistake, force a roll that she can then use that opportunity then to hit with the L1, which is really what she needs to do. She had an L1 opportunity there, she didn't take it, but unfortunately Breeze is hitting out from Kilo there. Once you see that roll, you go for that L1, you catch them, and then they're stuck in a world of hurt, as we are going to see just another little bit of pressure here in this very, very slow match, as we are going to see Breeze forced back into the corner. Oh, I don't know now. She's not really taking advantage of that positional, her advantageous position there, which is kind of interesting. So we are going to see both of them kind of chilling. Look at... Oh, the trade comes through. He goes for that press. 300. Holy moly. We are going to see both players now very even. 600 to 300. Basically an exchange away from one another from being put away. The run attack comes through. The dagger. The L1. The dagger. The dagger. The dagger. There are daggers in men's smiles as Breeze is forced back as we see that swap back over onto that red feather to try and get that extra damage, as Embern is going to go for that blink bolt there, trying to keep that lead. She does not want to give up a stock here. And oh me, oh my, oh moisey, as the L1s come out here, Breeze is playing super cautious. I think one hit he could put this away. The L1 comes out, it's going to whiff from Kilo into the R. Oh, that was very, very close. 221 HP left on it. As we are seeing Breeze swap over. How long was it on for? How many ticks? Uh-oh. Is that going to be a match point? What's up, Donut? I'll be sure. Hey, Donut, thanks for the raid, brother. Osiris as well, and Mendo for your subs, I appreciate it. But yeah, we're going to see this very slow game. We're going to see just a little bit of skedaddling away here as we swap over to Red Feather. 94 HP to 156 neither side. Oh, the Blink Bolt comes through. Let me just message our dear friend here, Breeze. Make sure not to have double tallies. Breeze. Four. Alright, there we go. Unlucky for the Zwybird Giga Chat. Unfortunately, the Zwybird here doesn't have many... Neither side really has good initiation options in this fight. It's kind of weird. Very, very weird. It's kind of like both of them are forced to play a very long neutral, and it obviously is suiting Embern a hell of a lot more. Yeah, he's not going to do it again, folks. But thanks for decking it. I wouldn't have. I like this weird matchup. It's kind of unusual. It's a little bit unorthodox, but what can you do? Alright, it is going to be 2-0 in favor of Embern. And there we go. And the run it. Uh-oh, Breeze is in a spot of bother here. He's taking quite an awful lot of damage to begin with. He's playing very, very carefully here once more, as we see that reset into this long neutral that's going to develop here. A battle of attrition, for those in the know. As, there we go. He does decide to press, though. The impatience getting the better of him, and Embern is taking a nice, tasty early lead. But there is more match to go, as we're going to see that swap over now into the 200 Uggs, which again is going to deal with the nasty off rack. But one more turn on the rack, and as we see him swap back over to the halberd, we see a little bit more confidence here from the side of Embern, who is going to whiff again, perhaps expecting a run attack, but he's being super cautious with them, as Embern is unfortunately going to be clipped, but far from shipped yet. Not seeing many strafing attempts either on the side of Breeze, or sorry, on the side of Embern, which would be very, very smart as the rack comes through there. One more turn on it, as Breeze is forced back once again. Like, looking at this here, I'd say that just by virtue of the fact that Embern has that unreactable, and that means it's getting rid of any aggression that Breeze does elect to go for, I'd say that the matchup is fairly confidently in her side. However, if Breeze keeps making these plays and just kind of messing around with the expectations of Embern, he could definitely pull through in this, and he does have quite a long way to go yet, and he has an even steeper hill to climb if he does win this set, seeing as he'll have to win 2 more. But Embern is doing a good job going for these running attacks here, which again are a curiosity. And for a trade, Breeze is currently in the lead just by virtue of tier. So we're having a very slight one, but no more, as it's a very slight life advantage now in the favor of Breeze as the run R2 comes through. Good rollout there on the side of Embern. Whew. Uh-oh. How is this? This is too close to call. Breeze does have regen, but unfortunately Embern has the ability to walk into hyper armor, so it's going to be this could go either way. Obviously off dagger is fast, unreactable, very tempting to press. Breeze is waiting for it. He's setting up for it, and there's a 200 health difference, just over 200 HP in the difference now between them, still in the favor of Breeze. And we see these wave dashes come out in neutral here. There was a whiff punish attempt there with the rack, but as we see here, most of the movesets are reactable here, so another side can hit each other. Goes for that, is not going to be able to punish the beast roar. You hate to see it. Setting back now, Embern kind of stuck in a little bit of corner pressure here, but does manage to get out of it as the running R1 on the halberd comes out here on the side of Breeze. Embern still kind of vibing. Ooh. And he actually manages to do it. Put away. Jeez. That's 1-2. I feel like Hall off rack is functionally similar, well, just better. Yeah, maybe. It probably has a slightly better moveset to it for sure. We love the people's Vi to win. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting. I will say that I'm kind of curious now what Embern's going to do to change this up here, because the longer these fights go on, the more opportunities for mistakes there are, and I think that we might have to see some pretty substantial changes here in how Embern is approaching the fight. But that remains to be seen. So we have both of our players in, and a 2-1 still in the favor of Embern. Breeze looking to get a comeback. Kaboom! The bolt is out. The players are now vibing. They're having a little bit of a sip, a little bit of a sup of tea. And there we go. The Zvi there with that hyper armor is able to tank through the rack and basically shuts down a certain degree of the premises of Embern's build once again. Oh, actually going for that rolling attack there. Not quite able to connect, but definitely tempting, as we are going to see Embern here chilling. The flaming... It's Jover. It's so Jover. It's so Jover. Bro! It's Jover! He used Flaming Strike. Flaming Strike is banned. And that is going to be Embern taking the round. And GG's to Embern, who takes the win. Remember to read the rules, folks. It's 3-1. There we go. Alright, now we're heading down How Very Skibbity. It is probably one of the things that happens in these tourneys, but oh well, you hate to see it. Round 1 do be that way. Remember, folks, to read the rule set. This is not ladder cord. Please and thank you. Alright, either way, we are going to move on to Iseki versus Zdroker. Peru versus Chile in a showdown. In a showdown to end all showdowns. Very pro. Let me actually just copy the name here because I can't spell for crap. So, there we go. 0. Again, these tourneys are... Why is he using the regular Walmart? Because Halberd is fine. Trust. And then it's going to be Iseki. Alright. Cool. More historically accurate. Alright, let me just pin the players here and we can get this show on the road. Ba-do-do. Alright. Yeah, there's some differences that I've elected for compared to the real mage was Enda all along real. I was hoping to crash their PCs. But looking at this here, let's just take a quick peek at the rule set while we wait for our players to get in. So, what are the differences, main differences between ladder cord and the Enda cord rule set? I don't know. Backhand Blade is banned. Smith's Script Circ is banned. Clean Rot Knight's Sword is banned. Claws of Night. Pata wielded two-handed. Pike, Cross Naginata, Bolt of Grandsax as part of a power stance in the script. Smith Shield. Magnificent. I do it just for you, darling. And then HP incantations, all absorption increasing incantations, and Placidusax's runes. Rock Grease is banned, which is slightly different from the main rule set. I've just decided to get rid of it. And then Two-Handed Talisman. And I think that's the only major difference between me is the Two-Handed Talisman is just flat banned across. And then looking then at Ashes of War, then we have Flaming Strike, just blanket banned. Shriek of Sorrow, blanket banned. Storm Stomp, blanket banned. Barbie Roar is blanket banned. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? And Determination is gone as well. Ender reading rules first, because we can't. Yep. And then for Thrusting Shield, Great Shield Talisman is gone, and you cannot use the Deflecting Crystal Tier. Status Bolts are gone for Spread Crossbow. Arrow Soaring Sting is gone. And then for Backhand Blades, it's Retaliatory Cross Tree, Lacerating Cross Tree, Millicents, and Rotten Winged and Regular Winged Insignia. And I think that's the only difference. Sword Dance is gone in Shamshir. There you go. Alright, either way, we do have both of our players in World. Let's take a quick peek at the build, make sure that we actually have Seki is in blue. And apparently Magic Waifu is going to be Ztoker. Oh, it's pinned. Did someone else get it? The message is pinned in beginners. Please don't leak it. And I think we have both people in. Alright, I think we have both of our players in. It does seem as though it's going to be a 57, 28, 50 int build, the side of Toker. Troker versus the strength build here on the side of Iseki. Both of these should have probably the best connection that they're going to get today. So, well, let's see how this one's going to pan out, as we are going to get the show on the road. Iseki in blue, Toker in red. Let's crack on. Alright. Was that 14 in? We'll see what the idea is we are going to see both players here going for their respective buffs. And it does seem as though it's going to be the Great Cat once more versus the Zwei. Great Cat's, of course, very popular. Esekai going for a decent attempt there, getting a hit. Magic Missile comes through, but it is going to be rolled out by Iseki. And again, rolled out by Iseki. Oof, forced back in now once again. Looking at this here, we are going to see both players here going for this. The Magic Missile is going to be punished. Uh-oh. Good rollout there comes out from the side of Eseki, who is going to be forced trade in with the Gugs. Both players going to chill here as we are going to see this Vi going for that jump R1, but I do believe at this stage the Great Katana is the better setup here. It just doesn't have the hyper armor. As we see yet another follow-up there, the run R1s come through and it is going to land. Iseki is going to be quite low and Toker is going to be put back into that follow-up, but the hyper armor says, no sir, we are not going to have any of that, as we do see the attempt to pressure there, the standing R1 into a crouch attack to follow. Did not tear skip. Did not tear skip as we see the Magic Missile come through. Oh no, not red light. That is going to be the Droker taking the first round. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, we have another Peruvian. I didn't know you were from Peru, Skyn. I am thinking of at some point hosting a Go to Brazil tourney where EU players have to use VPNs to set to somewhere in South America, and then the South American players have to use VPNs to Italy, which is the nearest equivalent. I think that might be a funny tourney at some point. We'll see who has VPNs by the end of it. Alright! Either way, we do have both of our players in. Alright. Out of 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Alright, we are going to see, once again, Droker setting up that Magic Missile there, holding in center, and the Rot Pots are out. Good rollouts there from the far side of Eseki. Holy moly. Uh-oh. And the LGSE is going to get thrown away. That is a considerable portion of the health bar is gone. Goes for a jump attack there into... Oh, the backstab grab was tragic. As we see yet more magical missiles come out here once again. Goes for that attempted punish there. The L2 run jump R2's coming through. However, spin to win. You'd swear this was The Witcher with all the animations going on there on the side of LGS. As another jumping attack comes through into the sword dance, which can be interrupted by the hyper armor. As Iseki is just stuck in a bad spot, who is going to be thrown back there by the magical missile. Zwei is going to get some nice hits there on the running attack, and the off stock comes through and gets the damage. Oof. Let's take another quick look at these builds, actually, while I get all the shenanigans sorted. Cool, cool. Trusty Elric, thank you for the follow, by the way. Looking at this here, it is going to be 14 int on the side of Eseki and 54 strength and a lot of end. And then Zoker, funny enough, who's on the bigger build, the bigger build, is actually on an awful lot less end. Interdasting. Oh me, oh my. Alright, well we do have both of our players in. I think we're pretty excited to see how this last match is going to go. Alright, gents, ladies, let's get this show on the road. In 3, 2, 1, allez. And there we have it. We are going to see the explosions come out now once again. And the Frostpot does actually land there. Iseki kind of a bit concerned as to where those hitboxes are. I know I'd be worried. As we do see the jump attacks come through there. Good punish there. However, the hyper armor is going to come in clutch here on the side of Droker. However, ooh, the sword dance is going to be interrupted. Sword dance here is not the play. You need to find something else, although he does manage to get some decent damage off there. And Eseki is taking a lot of damage, but so is Droker, who has been thrown off his game. with the magical missiles come out there to try and keep it up into a jump attack, and Eseki takes a stock, forcing a 2-1. Still in the favor of Stroker, but now victory is within a grasp. Yeah, good round, good round, good round. Not the FPS missile. That is tech, that is tech. Alright, let's continue on where we were. We do both of our players in. Beefstock, real and true. 2-1 in the favor of Stroker. Eseki is on a 1. Boom! I think the LGS can do this. It's just it's a weird matchup because the first part might not get the break and on the jump R2s. Which kind of makes this a kind of a funky matchup. Obviously with all the mage shenanigans you're gonna get a little bit knowledge checked here. Just a smidgen, just a smidgen. However, the magic missile comes out now once again. Kablooey. Oh, but that is gonna clip. Just by a hair's breadth there is Eseki going to be taking just a little bit of damage. The off-stock is definitely a good play here as the run attack comes out there, and the R2 spam comes out here in response from Eseki, which is definitely what you need to do. You can keep pressure, but you have to be careful of that tracking on the LGS. The tracking on the LGS is absolutely abysmal. So unless you're playing virtually constantly unlocked and then relocking just at the right moment, you're going to be in a spot of bother, as we do see yet another hit come through there in Eseki. Stroker not even taking a trade yet. It's 27. There we go. That's what we need to do. We need to get those punishes on those casts and disincentivize Stroker from actually going from those. Another R2 comes out. It is not going to land in the attempted punish, but the backstab grab is going to punish Eseki, as both players are going to be chilling now in neutral as is forced back there once again. We do see the sword dance nicely enough coming through. Sword dance actually getting a little bit of utility here, but it is so dangerous given that Stroker can quite literally just press into it and go, no, this is my turn now, not yours. Forced back in. We see the jump in on the jump R1 from the side of Eseki, who is playing an awful lot more careful as the jump comes through, but there we go. And the true combo off of the Gugs into the off-stock comes through there, as well as we are going to see the lots and lots. Oh my god, that actually connected. That's crazy. Unfortunately, Eseki expecting perhaps a run R1 was going to be connected by that there as well. Oh dear, oh dear. As we are going to see. The lightning greases up. Eseki is very low here. Stroker is doing a decent job as the trade comes through. 500 HP into the R2 spam, but unfortunately the croucher, the rolling R1. The croucher rolling takes Eseki, and that's going to be Stroker taking the W. Wowzers. Wowzers, wowzers. GG. Alright, well, we're going to mark the score. Stuhler, congratulations on your performance yesterday in Twitch Rivals. Good to see you in, brother. Good man, good man. Alright, so because we're still waiting to see if Ladle Lover will be able to actually make it, we're actually going to jump directly into the losers bracket round 3. And that'll be Osiris then getting a bye if we don't have Ladle. Ladle. So we're going to jump into our best of 3 here in the losers bracket very quickly. Let's get this show on the road. Wow, the gibberish. Cool. So cool. Sub me in for Ladle. You know what, Bevan? I think you have potential, but I think you still need to practice a little bit more, bestie. Just a little bit more. You got potential, kid. You got potential, kid. I know, right? Someday, formerly Bevan. But yeah, Breeze versus Eseki. So that means I don't need to change a name. So Breeze and Eseki, if you could be ever so kind, we'll jump in. And if this match is done and there's no sign of Ladle, we'll just carry on, unfortunately. I forgot to type a whole word. I know the feeling, only too bloody way. Who are you betting on to take the whole thing? I'm not answering that question. I will say, though, I think finals is going to be a bit of a cat fight. That's what I reckon. That's all I'll say on the matter. Alright, so Breeze is in. Chase the God has already won? You might be onto something. Streamer favoritism? I know I'd never. So, let me just add Esaki. You're up again. And there will be money matches happening probably starting next week, folks. I'll have information on that very shortly. So there'll be yet more tournaments in the future. Esaki. Yeah, he's in. Okay, he's in. I didn't need to. Can I give my... I'm out. Can someone drop some rune arcs for Breeze? You can in between matches. Yes, you can. I'd sooner see E not be open, but obviously if you need it, then go for it. But either way, we do have both of our contestants in losers round 1. Oh, you can't? That's hysterical. Go invade for a bit, I think, Breeze. That'll do it. Alright, either way. Let's get the show on the road. It is Esaki versus Breeze. Let's go. Kaboom! And we have it. We are going to see Le Physique coming out here. Force back in now. We are going to see that attempt to get a little bit of damage right off the bat. It's going to be great cat into that there once again. We do see a random poise event come through there. Esaki is going to be SA, and Breeze is, of course, going to be NA East. So the connection is going to be a little bit funky, but that's okay. That is the downside to having these open brackets. As we are going to see Breeze here chilling in neutral. Esaki going for a crouch R1 there once again. Goes for an empty jump, of course, and goes for that. Managing to actually get that running attack in there as Breeze is actually taking quite a lot of damage all the way through there as the Katana gets the damage. And actually a really nice use of the Frost Stomp there as well, which actually gets it. And another one comes through, but unfortunately too close as Breeze is going to town. A strong wind blows, but unfortunately... it blows his withered spirit away into a loading screen. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. And unfork. Unfork memento as we are going to get the first round, which is going to be in the favor of Esaki. Cool. Very nicely done. Names aren't right. Have I messed up? Oh dear. Oh, they are indeed wrong. Oh dear. That's what I get for yapping. Yeah, there we go. We've sorted it out now. My apologies. GCAT is so long. That's what your mom said. Alright, there we go. Round is up. Bomb is out. The drinkies are out. And now let's see the running R1 coming out here on the side of Breeze. Of course, we are going to see Esaki staying on the exact same build as before. Running attack comes out there on the side of Breeze, but the hyper armor there on the side of the Zwei just says no, as we are going to see that nice long neutral develop here. But we are going to see some very nice aggression coming out from the side of Esaki, who is going to go in for that running attack. It's not going to connect the jump there to attempt to punish the hyper armor of Breeze here on the two-handed Gogs, but back onto the Hall main bird once again. An interesting conceit for build once more, as we are going to see that running attack come through. Esaki is doing a very decent job here. I'm just trying to bait those attacks, but unfortunately straight the wrong way, and is going to be in for a world of hurt as we do see the Gogs come out here on the side of Breeze, who forces Esaki back, but they now reset. But no, right back in there is the side of Breeze. He really wants that aggression, and he's playing a very, very close game as Breeze is going to take yet more damage. Another crouch R1 comes through there. Another follow-up R1. Eseki's doing a decent job. Is going to get hit, put down so low, but the Grey Cat still has some very, very good damage underneath it. So this could still be turned around as both sides still have their tier, but both of them are for sure within tier skip range as the Frost Stomp comes through there, actually managing to get a tiny little bit of damage. Neither side electing to go for the tier reset. Oof, goes for that roll there, and the L1 comes through. That's going to be the tier gone for now. Both of them, whatever health you see here, with a little tiny bit of regen is going to be all that these players have access to, as Breeze is going to be trying to bait something out. Goes for that punish. Almost aim punched, however, is going to be clipped on the retreat once more as the running attacks rain through here by Breeze. Understanding that he has to keep the pressure. Eventually there'll be a mistake made and he can slowly but surely clip Isekai down as that trade comes through into the crouch attack. The follow-up R1, but Breeze is nowhere near it. As we see the reset now, Breeze is on death's door. The swap back over onto Red Feather on the side of Breeze. Isekai definitely staying on blue. Tries to space out the Grey Cat, but unfortunately that is going to be the best of 3 over, and Isekai takes the W. Breeze, thank you so much for coming. It's always a blast having you. And now I need to just check in with Ladle Lover. Yeah. Yeah, it does seem as though they are not going to be here. So we're just going to crack on with the next round. Alright, cool. Misspaced you to that. There's probably a degree of that for sure. But that's just, again, the nature of the beast. It's an open bracket. All the players knew what they were getting themselves into. Alright, let's just take a quick peek here. So I'm guessing, I'm just going to wait a minute. I'm getting a wait. Alright, cool. Yeah, the latency is going to change a couple of the interactions, which makes it a little bit more difficult. I'm going to make the wild assumption here that the players aren't in. So, we are going to actually mark here that Axie is going to move forward. So I'm actually not going to mark the score, but I am going to mark Axie. Yeah, there we go. Alright, Darcy versus Axie in the first round of round 2. And then it's going to be Osiris moving on in loser's bracket. Cool beans. Continue. Alright, let me mark the scores. Doo-doo-doo. Cool. Alright. Okay. Alright, it's going to be Axie versus Darcy. Cool beans. Sorry, admin shenanigans, folks. You'll love to see it. Darcy. Cool. And then Axie. Cool. Alright. Stowe, thank you so much for the tier 1 gifted to It's Me Goku XD. Thank you so much, Stowe. I do appreciate it, brother. Alright. Let's crack on. Darcy versus Axie. It's going to be hard to say. Still going to be a best of 5. We are on wave 2 of the tournament. Cool beans. Yeah, you can spawn in more. Just do it before the match starts. So that is all of round 1 Jover. So again, Darcy Scout versus Axie, then Embern versus Stroker. And then the losers then will face Osiris and Isekai respectively. Awesome! So, we're just waiting for players to get their shenanigans sorted as we speak. Okie dokie. Let me catch up with chat. How are we all feeling anyway? If you have any questions about the rule set or anything, folks, I'm more than happy to answer them. More than happy to answer any questions. Hold on, I'm going to craft. Yeah, take your time. No one using the Fire Knight Uggs. Since the update, unfortunately, since it was patched, it's kind of a bit garbo. So it's basically the same, unfortunately. There's absolutely no difference in it. Fire Knight Uggs was literally a one-note setup. No one using bee claws and lizard GS? The people have used them in previous ones. It wouldn't shock me if more people come out with stuff like that. The beast claw is very nice, but one of the nice things about the beginners brackets is that you get an awful lot of kind of weird, funky setups that people use. It's an awful lot more chill than the other stuff that we do. An awful lot more chill than the other stuff that we do, but yeah. So, to use a different build matchers to use this build, you're basically allowed to change builds at will. The funny thing is that I think you're allowed to change builds in my rule set. Let me just make sure. You're not required to stay on builds per set. You can change shit, but people usually don't because they probably have like 3 builds set up and they can't be arse changing, or they've practiced one setup pretty consistently since the beginning. It's a weird thing that no one actually checks whether or not you can change builds. It's really funny. Is Gizzard a better Claymore? That is a statement and a half. Just. Alright, let me just make sure. Alright, Darcy's in. Cool beans. Which side do I have? Darcy's on this side. And we're just waiting now for Axie to get in the hoose. It gives him the what now? The Lizard Great GS. It's very silly. It's very, very silly. It's so ridiculous I can't help but like it. I'm. What's up, Black Sheep? How are you keeping? Alright, Axie's getting into hoose now. Just waiting for them to come in. And then it would be good to crack on. Alright, round 1. I'm putting it on my build right now. Fair enough, Darce. Fair enough. The people have spoken. Enda don't smoke. Too late, unfortunately. Addiction is a fun thing, Sasimoto. I'm a very big fan. Would recommend. 10 out of 10 experience. Oakley dokely. We're just waiting now. It applies status 2. Melum Sword Arrow 2, technically longer. Lol. I just woke up. Good morning, Black Eeps. Wait, I don't have YouTube chat open. Addiction explains the SIGs, but you chose the Tau. Listen, don't judge me, okay? Giant robots are okay sometimes. Hey. I like the aesthetic, but I'm not a weeb. Trust. Trust. Alright, let's take a look at the builds and change the subject very quickly. Alright, we have Darcy here, who is going to be on a 54. Strength on the side of Darcy, 18 dex. Probably have some shenanigans. Does seem as though we're on the PSGS once again. And then looking at this here, we have Axie, who's going to be rocking a dex build, 33 end. We might see some more aggression from the side of Darcy, but those PSGSs are going to be an absolute stam hogs, so that should be interesting. But we do have both of our players. We're in wave 2, still in a best of 5. Let's get this show. Okay. You know what happens? It happens. Alright, there we go. We're getting places. We have both players in. Alright. PSGS is in the hoose versus the G-Cat, I believe. No, it's the Fox. Off rack. Alright, folks, enough dilly-dallying. Enough dilly-dallying. Enough yapping. The match is on. The sips are drunk. And the cat is bled up, as we are going to see some nice patience come out here on the side of Darcy, who's going to roll out of the corner. Some insane aggression there. Insane aggression as we do see the bleed grease taken out there, as we are going to see some rolls coming out here on the side of Darce. And the pot is out, but got a good roll attempt there from Darcy, who does actually not take any damage. Both players are playing very, very carefully here, trying to feel each other out a little bit. However, we are going to see that aggression from Darcy is going to be punished. If we see the JL1 comes out there, it is not going to land. Of course, the nuclear damage of the JL1s is still not there, as we see a running attack actually clip Darcy. 1800 to 2600, a nice health lead now already, especially this early on for Axie, who is going to be punished there. And we do see the attempt to pressure. Unfortunately, Darcy is going to be punished though with that rolling attack and the Wild Strikes. Wild Strikes? Is there some tech I don't know? Is there some shenanigans afoot? Yeah, it isn't the Sasha. It is going to be just a regular G-Cat, as we do see these rolls come out here on the side of Darcy, who is going to be bled. Struggling to try and find an opportunity to get some decent damage there, as we are going to see that pressure come through. Axie's going to take some damage. Forced to eat all of those hits there. 1400 to 1200. Still in the favor of Axie, but that could change very quickly, knowing PSGS players and their silly ways, as we do see a roll come out there from the side of Darce. Not content to hate it, the Wild Strikes are out once more. Owns the Crouch R1 into another Crouch R1, and then moves back. Axie is actually getting caught up to here by fairly substantial margin. The tier here, there is a tier. I don't know if there's still tier skip opportunities here, as we are... No, never mind, I spoke too soon. That is now Darcy taking the lead here into the JL1, but the hyper is going to come through. And that is going to be Axie here changing their attitude, and I think changing to the Raksasha as well. Oh me oh my. Oh me oh my. Oh, the fox comes out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can Darcy bring this one back as the Egons comes out? There she blows. Getting a bit of damage at the kill. Hey. That is going to be Axie taking the first stock. Oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh my. The Lagoons. Alright. Interesting match. Murdoch, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Frankie Pindos, thank you as well. I do appreciate your follow too. Appreciate you all and the support you give. SA Tech! Wait. There was a video. Who was it who did that video, SA Tech? I can't remember who it was, because they were on SA and doing VPN shenanigans. I forget who it was. Someone has it. Bruh. Either way. Either way. You have both of our players in. Let's crack on. 1-0 in the favor of Axie. And with the match is on. Darcy kind of forcing herself into the corner there as the LGS is out now on the side of Axie. Keeping both players here. Oh, and the Crouch R1 comes out and another one comes out as well there. Axie here back onto the two-handed. Good roll out there on the side of Darcy. Kind of interesting here that Darcy just needs to pre-space it, but that hyper armor actually on the two-handed lance is actually not doing a terrible job here of just getting those trades in the favor of Darcy. But the rolls are going to be quite difficult here, and you have to roll everything. Ooh, me oh my. Goes for a jump there. Not quite able to do it. The harpoon, there she blows. She's out. But unfortunately, not going to be enough, as unfortunately the tracking on PSGS is in a spot of bother. Oof, managing to get that nice bit of damage there. Roll catch attempts comes through, but unfortunately we're going to see Axie roll pretty much all of that. back into this long neutral here again. Both players still have their tier as good life advantage in the favor of Darcy, but that is now evened out. But the roars, the harpoon and the roars of defiance come out in response. Uh-oh. And we see the swap over to PSS. Interesting choice there from the side of Darcy. Oh me, oh my. As we see these runarounds come through. Good punish there. And that's what PSS is really good for. PSS is excellent at punishing mistakes. But Axie now is quite... No! Another kill! Oof. Oh no! There she blows. That harpoons are so good to free him! Yeah, but it exists for both of them. So I wouldn't complain too much. And they all signed up for a cross-region tourney. I assume some lad... Yeah, it is Argentina versus Canada East. But there's a little bit going on as well. But it's neither here nor there. Both players knew what they were signing up for. That is the beast. But we will see some adaptation here from the side of Darcy. $170. It's about the same that I get to Cali, which is pretty reasonable. Sounds like average? Yeah. Alright, into your positions, folks. 2-0 in the favor of Axie. Darcy. Will the reverse sweep happen? Would you lose? Probably. Alright. Both players are in. Let's get this show on the road. Alright, and the harpoons are out to greet our players as the physics are drunk. Good attempted punish there from the side of Darce. As we are going to see Axie now chilling like a villain here, going for these daggers. We are going to see both of them. Running attack comes through there. Another roll comes out there as well. Neither side has been hit just yet, as we are going to see the harpoon come through there. Nice tasty bit of chip damage right off the bat. Good running attack there on the halberd, but the Shamshir is out in force as well. Darcy not quite in the position. Not quite in the position to be able to get good damage off just yet, as we are going to see now. The halberd comes through, but the... Good. Oh my lord, that strafe was insane. Holy moly. Comes in there, manages to get that other one. We are going to see that attempt to keep out there with using the halberd, but the Shamshir is out as well. Good walkaways there from the side of Darcy, as we are going to see the two-handing coming out here. Runaways there into the bit of hyper armor on the side. A bit of hyper armor on the side of Darce there as well, as we are going to see both players now chilling like villains. Another little bit. The free aims coming out on the side of Axie are actually kind of insane. Holy sheesh! As it does come out there once more. Unfortunately, the HTS is out now and does get that nice bit of the R1 just as a nice bit of keep out. Darcy is struggling to try and find her footing here, but there we go. Into the quick poke to follow up. Good roll out there on the side of Darcy now once again, as the HTS is going to be handy teched away. Back onto the two-handed Shamshir. Into a roll. Axie is going to take that damage. Force back now once again. We are going to see Darcy doing a decent job. Force back now once again. We are going to see Darcy taking a lot of damage here. Is she going to be able to bring this one back? Uh-oh. Unfork. Flaming Strike is in fact banned. It's a blanket ban. So that is going to be Darcy taking a stock. Alright, reset, folks. Your PvP reading comprehension moment. Flaming Strike is banned. Blanket banned. Two-handed tally is blanket banned. Barbie Roar is blanket banned. Use of a bandash. Doesn't matter whether or not damage was taken off on it. And it is going to be a round to Darcy. Barbie Roar is banned too. Yep. I don't think it's OP, I just think it's toxic, so it's gone. Ooh, the Scythe on the side of Darius. Let's just take a quick look at the builds once again when we get our players back set up again. Looking at that there, we do see the strength. He'd swap to sword dance. Yep, that's the unfortunate thing. Two-handed rack not banned though? Nor would it be. Why the hell would you? Ugh. It's not toxic. It requires people to play. I've accidentally talked to Melina. No worries, Dars. This is it so far. 54 strength, 18 dex on the side of Dars. And Axie, of course, on that 16 strength, 60 dex. Going for those LGSs and swaps like it. Alright. We have both of our players in. Let's get the show on the road. Alright, on a 3, 2, 1. Could be match point, or we see the reverse sweep incoming from the side of Dars. Ooh, that LGS though comes out though, and a little bit of aim punch then as well, just for insta-rub salt in the wound. Oh, me oh my, and the standing R1 comes out there into a crouch R1, unfortunately. Axie is a substantial health lead there. Good roll comes out on the side of Darcy into a standing R1 to whiff punish. And we do see that poison mist coming out there as well from the side of Darcy, which is of course a very, very smart move. And the Fox comes out there from Kilo and the running attack there follow up. However, the intercontinental ballistic missile comes out. Darcy choosing to renege on the attempted damage there, knowing that oof, the LGS is going to do a substantial amount of damage as the sword dance comes through there and takes the damage. We are going to see 2000 HP advantage now to Axie. The standing R1 actually managing to get that nice little bit of damage. The harpoon! But unfortunately the free aim was just not able to do it. And once again, Darcy going for that zigzag motion. You know, duck, dive, and dodge. And the stone axe is out here to try and get this last hit. But the stone axe going to be doing a decent amount of damage. It's Jover. It's not Jover till it's Jover. I've seen other things as we... Oh, the flail is out! And there we have it. We do see Axie take the W. Alright. Round done. Cool beans. Oakley dokley. So, let's get this next stock underway. No, off Rakshasha is not banned. That's just hyper armor. So that was 1 to 3. Cool. Right, Axie moves on. It'll be Darcy fighting Iseki. And now it's going to be Embern versus Stroker. Let's get that match underway. Embern, cool. Let me actually get the names copied here so I don't actually mess it up, which I will do. Knowing me. Cool beans. Alright, there we go. Alright, Embern versus Stroker. Evil LGS 1. And yes, Storm Assault will be banned moving forward. It was a complete oversight of mine. It used to be banned in my rule sets. I'd be looking at Storm Sword Dance as well, just in case it's a bit too much, but that's not the priority right now. The real thing is like very annoying things that are super uninteractive, that just force insanely long matches for no good reason. What's the notion behind getting rid of Rakshasha either way? I've played into it a bunch of times. I've just swapped if I'm losing. I don't know, it has really bad matchups into like TS is really solid into it, Shamshir is really solid into it, anything that's fast that can get good damage. If you're using an off meta weapon, you're going to be in a spot of bother. And I'm more or less convinced, at least when it comes to when Flaming Strike was legal, I know Luber did convince me that basic Great Cat might actually be a better play than the Rakshasha. Alright, well it does seem we have Stroker in, who's going to be on the left. Magic waifu, dear God. And it's going to be Embern. Alright. I love Rack, but I'm so bad I get punished easily. I think all Uggs beat Rack. Well, in terms of hyper armor, for sure. If it's super one note, like we've seen in that fight between Breeze and Embern, that like neither side necessarily have fast weapons counter. Genuine question, because they hit before it can hit, and they can have the opportunity to roll out pretty consistently. Unfortunately, the way this game works, if you have very fast startup and very low recovery, you will probably win. As we have Miku, me. And there we go. Alright, cool. Rack is a better moveset, yeah, but it doesn't have the hyper armor, and it's slow enough for the hyper armor to punish it. No, that is not what I'm looking for. Alright, let's take a look at the builds. We have Embern, who's going to be rocking the Endurance Dex build versus the Int build on the side of Stroker. Okay, let's crack on. Very nice stuff. Wave 2, best of 5. As we get to show on the road Hatsune Miku Ryu. We'll just play the thing Jaker made for Reef over and over again on loop over the break, I think. But either way, let's get the show on the road. Naught to naught. And we are going to see the magic missiles probably come out right off the bat. No, just a Frostpot comes out here, actually. It's definitely an interesting choice. Embern here playing a very careful game here. And is going to be interrupted, though. Unfortunately, the off-rack here. Again, as we've seen last time, there was some serious problems. Uh-oh, is she going to be in a spot of bother? She is. Unfortunately, the magic missile knowledge check is coming in front and center. Uh-oh. 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 Alright, Ember managed to get out of the vortex here, but we're not seeing good flask play here on the side of Stroker, who has to be very careful. Ember playing a very cautious game here. She's not really... She seems pretty afraid of initiating. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Almost managing to get roll caught there by that Zwei, as we are going to see the off-rack. There you go! Off Uggs, managing to be able to press into it is kind of pogger, I think, as we do get this Stroker stuck into the corner, but the off dagger is just not... the main dagger, sorry, is just not able to get the damage in that's needed. Embern here is in a spot of bother as the L1 comes out. In come the fists here to try and finish this one out. 50 HP! And it's going to be Stroker taking the round. Very nice. VV nice. Alright, let's mark the score. It's going to be Stroker taking that. Magic Missile is a really weird one. I don't know what to make of it. Like, all of the spells on their own aren't a problem. I think, personally, I think that they're all pretty mid. It's when they're all used in conjunction with one another, things get kind of weird. Very, very weird. Yeah, Hyper Armor, as we've seen Ingram do yesterday into Lucy, like the ability for you to go two-handed rack and just run at people, and they have to respect you, is super, super interesting to me. Super, super interesting to me. Like, that's a genuine curiosity for me personally. But yeah, the two things I'm looking at currently are going to be either Blanket. Can I get him moving? Can I get him on my R1? Yeah, take your time. Do whatever you need to do. Your R1 isn't working. In terms of spells and incants, the general rule is that beer? No, it's a Monster, because I woke up not too long ago. I'm still kind of groggy. Yeah, Missile, Magic Missile is very, very strong. You, of course, have Bestial Sling. Catch Flame is very, very good. You can do some funny things with the Wrath of Gold, but that's kind of weird. I don't know. There's a few spells that are very, very strong. Mesmer's Orb is really funny, and I've been knowledge checked by that a bunch of times. If you join into the Discord and ping a person called Lucy, she'd be able to talk you through mage play. She's probably the only good mage that I've had the pleasure of, like, in a competitive dueling environment. She's the only one who's really able to compete currently. All right. Either way, we do have both of our players in. All's good. All right. Cool beans. Let's go. Embern versus Stroker. Let's see how this one pans out. Oof. Oh me oh my. Explosions. Goes for a running attack there. We do see the magic missile actually managing to get that blast there. And once again, the magic missile here trying to get a blast. Good roll out there finally on the side of Embern there, who is going to be able to get away from that, as we do see the bleed grease come out here on the side of the dagger. Embern is just not able to actually get the hits in there. And the magic missile comes out again into yet another one, forced back in there once more. We do see those running attacks come through there. Unfortunately, the off dagger is just not able to do very much. We do see these chilling out in neutral. Embern just not sure how to engage in these fights at all. And we see that there coming through in spades. The any means she has of initiating here just gets batted aside as the Zwei comes through and gets that into the magic missile again. She is able to get away. The bestial roar there to try and punish the magic shenanigans comes through, and the off dag comes through there once more. However, and the off dag pressuring off of the magic missile, and that's going to be Stroker taking the round very, very commandingly. Holy sheesh. No way, bro. I don't think I've ever fought Angres. I say. Yeah, I don't think I ever have. The R2 keeps prio? Yes, that is true. I think it's just, it's easier to say. There's a bunch of things that can make this quite difficult for the mage. It's just, I think the problem is Embern isn't being confident enough in aggressing to be able to, and with the spacing to be able to get the damage in. It's kind of interesting. But either way, we do have both of our contestants in. It's 0-2. All right, let's go. As we have clipped through a wall, but that's okay. It happens to the best of us. And we are going to see the magic missile come out there and the attempted punish there from range. However, realizing that there's massive problems here with him staying at range here and trying to go for the grav missiles, he's going to have to play for mixes and go from there. Embern is doing a decent job of trying to call out the shenanigans, but she's too afraid of that Zwei. Far too afraid of that Zwei. And that's going to be causing her a lot of problems. No, too close, unfortunately. Oof. Magic missile comes through there. A good roll comes out there. And there we go. We're going to take that nice little bit of damage. Good little bit of a punish there. Embern's getting a little bit more cozy. The wall bounce comes through there and actually manages to get that hit. And again tries to go for a bit of magic. Unfortunately doesn't strike twice, as we do see the dagger is out now once again. And we do see that now. Finally, she might feel a little bit more empowered to aggress now that that Zwei is away. But both sides are actually, it's actually Embern who's in the lead so far here. Forced back now. Good rollout comes out there on the side of Stroker. We see yet another roll come out there. Another, the stock is coming through. Embern is without her tier. 900 HP with probably about 1600 HP effective health. Actually managing to go for that. The L1 comes out into the dagger. The R1 comes out just to get a little bit of extra chip. And the magic missile is out there now once again. And the explosions come through there as it's aimed down. Unfortunate there that that bestial roar did not land. That's a tragical moment, I think. As the and there we go. Stroker's been put through the pain train. Is this going to be the thing that turns this match around? So we are going to see these runouts here, and the L1 comes through there, not quite able to connect. We do see both players now chilling. The bestial roar wall bounce once again is not going to connect. Just a bit too late to try and get that punish, as Embern is going to eat that running attack. Stroker is just not quite sure how to engage now himself. He's definitely has enough flasks here to be able to do pressure. Forced back in now once again. We are going to see at the L1 or R1, L1, just to try and force those rolls. Elmburn is low, but so is Stroker. Oh me, oh my, and the swap over probably to that Blink Bolt. The run attack comes through here on the side of the fists. Both players are chilling like villains, unsure of how this one is going to pan out. Embern goes for the run attack, but she's too far away, and the LGS manages to get a hit. 9 HP on the board. This is too close to call as the daggers are out. Oh no! Two-handed TS is out here as well, stuck in the corner there, trying to force a bit of pressure. Is Embern going to be in a position? The off-rack comes through, but the airs are abysmal. I could feel it in the air. Oh no. And Stroker takes it in a sweep. Is this the day SA eats well? Ladies and gentlemen? I'm not denying. Dude, at work I've been listening to fucking Lord of the Rings I've been just rewatching clips from the Lord of the Rings. Well, you missed it. You missed it, Jake. Main dag is good, yeah. Dimka has been using it. I started the stream with Fell Deeds awake. Now for wrath, now for ruin. I should really get a Theoden soundboard, I think. But either way, we're going to go Darcy, Scout, Iseki. Darcy. Alright, let's get that all done. So much death. What can man do against such a reckless hate? Was it you during tournaments, Jaker, who used to start quoting, like reading Hamlet? Was that you? Or was that just during your Fight Club streams? Is it me? It's you! You're up! I don't believe it! It's crazy. Alright, Darcy is gonna be... It's gonna be Iseki versus Darcy. I don't know why you're both red. That's crazy. What? Okay. Seki. There we go. Alright, we're good. Thank you. Sorry, Osiris. Hey. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Right. So this is going to be the loser's bracket. I'm going to have to do some fighting here with my cam scripts. 3. One moment, folks. Alright, it is working. Let's take a look at the builds. It is going to be strength versus strength once again. I got a little excited. No, you're fine. Don't worry about it, Osiris. Does seem it's going to be Grey Cat versus the Pidgeys. Very cool, very cool, very nice. Alright. Let's get this show on the road once I change the score, because it is going to be losers 2. It's going to be a best of 3. And there we go. Neat! Wowzers! We did it, guys. We got there. Alright. Round 1. Darcy in red, the lady in red, versus Iseki in blue. Let's get this show on the road, as we do see the Chilling Mist coming out here on the side of the Great Cat. Darcy, of course, is going to be rocking the PSGS. I'm curious as to why she doesn't go for a different one. Maybe she just likes the moveset as she is going to be interrupted, PSGS mains. When they see an opening, they will froth at the mouth and run at people. That is, and the sky is blue, as we do see that, actually managing to get that frost bolus off. Very good showing here as we see a swap over here back onto the Chilling Mist here from the side of Iseki. Definitely a smart play here to try and get that extra damage and get that nice tasty bit of burst. Good rollout comes out here on the side of Darcy, who is going to be setting up for the double grease, I believe. What we do need to see is we need some nice mixes between going for those crouch attacks and the jump attacks there to initiate, especially given how poor an awful lot of the airs are on Grey Cat into the trade there. But Darcy is losing it by a fairly substantial margin. Swapping over here, we do see the Godskin Swaddling Cloth swap, which is going to be very, very useful. Here goes for an empty jump there. Unfortunately, not quite be able to connect. Attempts to go for a whiff punish there, but there is going to be a rollout. Fortunately, we are going to see a little bit of beautiful spacing coming out here on the side of Darcy. Unfortunate grab there into the the Frost Stomp is definitely a curiosity here, as we are going to see Darcy taking a little bit of an air damage there, but is not going to be knocked out, as we do see the Storm Assault is out, which is of course legal for today's rule set because I'm a silly Billy. But the good rollout coming out there from the side of Darcy. Iseki is going to be chilling there like a villain, who is going to be setting up in this neutral. Now realizing that there's the Storm Assault in play as the Frost Stomp comes out now once again. Both sides setting up for their greases there to get that extra bit of damage. Darcy is very, very low. This is very unfork bestie. Are we going to see it here? The Frost is going to come through, and that's going to be Iseki taking the stock. Today seems to be SA's day. Oh me, oh my. Iseki takes the first round of losers. We are now on match point for the losers bracket. Losers bracket is of course all best of threes. Yeah, there's a few people who've messed with PS daggers. I think probably Omega. I think Frosty's messed with it as well. Frontline, I think, if memory serves correctly. Thank you, sir. And hi, Marduk. Good to see you in, brother. Hope all is well. Darcy inting so she can join more Benning Storney's Trust. That would be tech. That would be tech. Although we are starting the season of intermediate tourneys probably next week. I don't care how to fight this lat. The way you fight is you fight it a bunch, or you exist in the arena and cry. How out of curiosity, how much ping do you have? I'm actually curious here. Either of you, 160? What? That's as much that as I have to you. What the fuck? NA when the ping is above 70. Can't be fucking leave it. All right. Either way. Not quite. Alright, jumping attacks come through there, and we're going to see a nice little bit of damage. Good showing there. Oh, a Crouch R1 comes through there and is actually able to get a nice bit of damage. We are going to see here the Great Cat is going to be chilling. And good anti-air there as the trades come through. Both sides relatively even, about 200 HP in the difference here, but Darcy is going to be electing to go for the Halberd here, trying to leverage a bit of that hyper armor, has the anti-air potential as well in case there's any engagement. Anthony can close the gap quite nicely. Issue is that it's quite vulnerable to strafes as the Run Arts 2s come through there. Force back in into that follow-up R1, into another follow-up, and the block cancelling there to get a bit more. Iseki is in a spot of bother, and Darcy's actually doing really damn well here with this, with the two-handed Knight Rider glaive. The Choppa, the big Choppa, is coming out here in force, ladies and gents, as the crouch attack comes through there in an attempt to punish any shenanigans. And the sword dances out. Iseki's taking a nice bit of damage there. He is going to be pushed back, but Darcy is giving a lot of ground here. Goes for a jump or two, managing to catch his big toe. Aseki is in a spot of bother. Darcy doing a decent job. Crouch R1 comes out here once again. We are going to see both players chilling like villains. We are going to see that attempt to initiate. However, the empty jump is going to be called out by Aseki. And that is going to be both players vibing, chilling now. Looking for any and all opportunities for a little bit of aggression. The trade comes through and the crouches. Oh, the chop comes through, but unfortunately Darcy is going to be taking a little bit of damage. Into the off stock comes out here now once again. And we're going to see that the two-handed stock is out. And this is probably the play here. Any trade now will be enough to end this fight in just an instant. Aseki is in a spot of bother. He goes to press, but unfortunately the thrusting sword is going to get in there first. Good freaking job to both. That was a fun fight. The big chopper. I actually really like the two-handed halberd play here from Darcy. There was one player, I actually forget their name. It actually troubles me that I can't remember their name. Oh, who was it on ladder who used to use an awful lot of two-handed halberd? There was one ladder player it was sometimes last year. Very, very nice player. They were the only person, Scott. I said a good player. Oh dear, I'm gonna get me in trouble. GG's though. Jesus? Maybe. I'm not sure. Now, jokes aside, it was a comp player, so it wouldn't have been Scott. Either way, I'm reminiscing about the olden times. Alright, both players are in. Let's get the show on the road. Match point, ladies and gentlemen, for this best of 3. Isekai versus Darcy. As we are going to see the frost is out in force. Both players chilling like villains. We are going to see now once again the run attack comes through here, but it is going to be interrupted, unfortunately, by the Grey Cat. And weirdly enough, two-handed halberd doesn't get enough hyper armor, I believe, to be able to tank the Grey Cat, unless maybe you go max poise, which you could do. But I think Darcy is valuing the drip here just a little bit. We have to admire the sliders, folks, as we are going to see the run attack come through there and actually manage to get that hit. It's like he kind of caught in neutral with their trousers down, unfortunately, into that chopper. Into these crouches coming through there, and there you have it. The Grey Cat is able to get that interrupt. Good spacing there comes out on the side of Darcy, and there the empty jump comes through, managing to get yet another one into the sword dance. Actually able to tank that one, weirdly enough. Forced back now. We are going to see that standing R1. Isekai giving an awful lot of ground here as well. Forced back now once again. We are going to see that follow-up R1 comes through there. Both players do still have tier. No, actually only Darcy still has tier here, and she might want to look into getting an actual proc to come out here, as we are going to see these follow-ups. The bleed comes through, the run R2, however, is going to be rolled here by Aseki. Darcy doing a good job of chilling in neutral, goes to threaten a little bit of aggression, but sees the roll and is kind of a little bit cautious about it. Can't say I blame her. And there we see it, the running attack comes through there, not going to come through into that aggression. The crouch R1 comes through, but good roll from Aseki, who is going to be stuck in a spot of bother as the off stock is now out. The stocks are out, and the run R2 comes out. That's going to be Aseki taking a nice bit of damage, and now the oh no, Darcy stays in and tanks it as we see the panic rolls come out there, but the run R1 to follow up. This is a back and forth. This could very much go either way. Both players neck and neck here, folks, as we are going to see the lightning grease coming out here. The two-handed thrusting sword is out here on the side of Darce. Into a whiff punish now. Goes back out. Beautiful spacing into the trade. Darcy, unfortunately, eats it. 40 HP. Holy moly. Bro. What a fight! That was down to the frickin' wire, folks. Gee frickin' gee. Good frickin' show. And that's all she wrote. That is all she wrote in the losers. Darcy, Isekai, you both put on one hell of a show for us today, as we are now going to move on to Embern versus Osiris, the Poo Piggy. You hate to see it. Alright, let's get on with the next round. Osiris voices Embern. Okie dokie. Yeah, good fight, lads. Good fucking fight. Osiris voices Darcy. No, Embern. Okay, well that's unexpected. All right, let's get the show on the road, folks. We're cracking on. We're nearly there. So it's gonna be Embern. That's gonna be Osiris on the left. Miku. Ooh. Let's take a look at the builds. I'm upright. Yes. Ember is going to be Osiris, who is going to be rocking a strength 54, 20 dex build, a nice bit of end. And Ember has a lot of end on this build. That's kind of nutso. Who's in the arena right now? Stroker, you're not up. Thank you. GG's. Jaker, do I have your permission to play that on the background? The finest thing that you have ever created, my friend. Do I have your blessing? Because we are going to take a quick break after this. Of course, hells yes. Alright, folks. We do have both of our contestants in and ready to go. Embern is going to be in the red. Osiris is going to be in the blue. No, you're fine, Joker. It's fine. Alright, both players. Let's get the show on the road. Best of 3. Kaboom! Glug, glug, glug. Both players chilling like villains. We do see the empty rolls coming out here on the side of Embern, who's going to be looking for any and all opportunities to get damage. Osiris is doing a good job. That great cat play is going to be coming in clutch here. However, Embern can set up for some shenanigans, which is, of course, really what you want from a tourney as the R1s come out there managing to get another taste, a little bit of damage. The blood is out here. Osiris here is kind of whiffing an awful lot, but he's not being punished as the R2 comes out here from the side of Embern, who is quite far behind already by about 300 HP. Definitely interesting, as we are going to see now, just this long neutral play here. Could have gone for another R2. There is the side of Embern, but Osiris is going to be just rolling back. Kind of very, very slow play. Embern doesn't seem very sure of herself here in an awful lot of these matches. She's not quite sure how to engage in an awful lot of these fights, as she does take yet another little bit of a hit. And that's going to be R2 comes out there, but it is going to whiff from Kilo as the impaling thrust follow up there from the side of Osiris, but it was whiffed from Kilos. The LGS is now out. Jump R2. Are we going to see a sword dance at the end of that R2 chain? No, we do not. Another R2 comes out there once more, and the L1 comes through, but unfortunately Embern is just too far away. Wasn't in a position to punish, and is in that position to punish, but the R2's animation kun going absolutely wild here in the arena, as we're going to see that run R2 come through. It is not going to land. Another L1 that's going to whiff here once more, as we do see Embern try to set up for that hyper armor trade, but unfortunately the R2s are just going too ham here in this match for Embern to actually get it out. Not necessarily fearing it, as Embern's tier is procced. Osiris is doing a decent enough job of keeping up the pressure force back. We are going to see that L1 tries to go for the follow-up. It's too far away. Osiris is just above 1000 HP, with Embern lagging behind here, but the potential health is probably about 1300 HP all in all, if I'm unmistaken, as the side is out. The chilling mist, it's getting cold out there, as we are going to see these rolls come through into the bestial roar, managing to even this one out into another chilling mist. Embern feeling a little bit more confident now into this matchup, something she probably knows, as this match is now evened out by a fairly substantial margin as the thrusting sword, and I believe that is that Queen Rat? No, it's Rogue Ears. Very nice. Embern takes the first stock. Can you change your name? I mean, sure, so long as I can recognize that it's you, I don't mind, Stroker. I would say I'd much prefer that you have names that match, so I can actually look at it. So I can tell at a glance who's who, and don't have to do, like, insane guesswork. Put together trigonometry in order to try and figure out who the fuck is in the arena. That would be very pro, I think, personally. Just as a personal preference thing. Darcy, you're already getting there, and you're putting the work in, so you are doing a really good fucking job. But either way, Embern, Osiris, let's go, round 2. The Glug-Glugs, the runs in towards center here, but we're seeing a little bit more confidence come out here from the side of Embern, but unfortunately those Grey Cats are definitely playing puck with her spacing and her way to arrange the fight here. She is going to eat another little bit of damage on Fork Bestie, as we are going to see there. It is going to go away. Good aim down there on the side of Osiris. Definitely nice. A nice touch. Having that extra bit of range. I know I was fighting Toko not so long ago, we'll say a few weeks back, and it was actually magical the amount of range that he had on account of those aim downs and stuff. So it is an important tech to learn, and it's important tech to master, just to get that, squeeze as much range out of it as you can, as we see the L1 come out there, but it is going to be interrupted. Embern is now half HP thereabouts, but still has tears, so there's a little bit more dog in this fight yet, as we are going to see the runs come through there once more. He trying to keep that pressure. We do see the Bestial Roar there get a nice little bit of chip. The R2s. Oh no, the Impaling Thrust actually lands. Uh-oh. Embern's in a spot of bother here. That's a big turnaround in this fight. 1800 to 900 plus tier. That's well over 2k health, potential health. But look at that. The amount of damage that true combo can do. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And the Bestial Roar comes out. Good roll out there on the side of Embern. We do see it now. Both players playing a very long neutral here. They're both pretty scared. One bad combo here from Embern, and this will even out. She'd actually take the lead off of an L1, R1. Oh dear, but that is going to whiff, and that's going to be a nice bit of pressure that comes out after it here. And there, look at this now. We are going to see Osiris go for that nice bit of pressure. The dagger comes out, but the daggers are out and they will not land. Unfortunately, folks, as we are going to see Osiris here try and keep that pressure, goes for the follow-up, is going to whiff at the Impaling Thrust, comes through again. The dagger whiffs by a hair's breadth. Oh me, oh my. We do see the follow-up R1 come through there, but that is going to be 500 to 930. But again, keep in mind there's still tier in play. Oh my lord, and that 600 HP into the L1 doesn't go for the follow-up, as that could have turned this fight around big time had we seen the follow-up there, as we are going to see another little bit of hits. Doesn't go for the follow-up again, she's panicking. 190 HP, and it's going to be Osiris taking a stock, forcing a 1-1 and a match point now once again, folks. Oof. Match point. Yeah, hit me up after the tourney. Give me like an hour or whatever, Darce. I might be around for a few fights. Same goes for everyone. I would highly recommend, this has helped me for pretty much anything that I've been very interested in. Rewatch yourself. I used to obsess when I was fencing about rewatching videos. It helped so fucking much. Like, that is honestly it. You get a sparring partner that's around your skill level, and you record fights consistently, and you obsess over it, and then you'll be good. You'll be good in no time. Alright, either way, we have both of our players in. Boom. Kablooey. Kaboom. And glug glug glug. As we are going to see both players now very aggressive now compared to where they were. They seem to have felt each other out now. They kind of know the what's what in these fights, which is V nice. V nice to see them get more cozy. And we're seeing Embern being an awful lot more aggressive here, because she can afford to be. She can, if she makes a mistake, it's going to take a couple more mistakes for Osiris to catch up with her. Whereas if Osiris makes one wrong move, he's going to be in for a world of hurt, especially with that rack doing as much damage as it does. But Embern there is going to roll out there from those attacks, as we see Osiris here trying desperately to just get that little bit of keep out, try and force a mistake that he can actually get a roll catch even. The L1 comes through there, but it is going to be rolled out by the side of Osiris. We don't see any follow-up aggression coming out here on the side of Embern, mostly because the running attack there on the cat can actually pretty much catch whatever she does, which is kind of unfork bestie. We're going to see these running attacks come through here, and the off rack is going to be doing an attempt there, and we go see that nice tasty bit of damage there, evening it out now. But actually no, Osiris is quite far behind. 2500 HP to 2100 in favor of Embern here, as we're going to see these jumps come through. Osiris trying desperately to find summon any and all opportunities to get some damage there as the dagger comes through. Gets a little bit of that pressure. Also the bleed pressure is really, yes, that is huge in this matchup here. I think, again, having the hyper armor be taken out of Embern's build here is definitely going to be a problem. Although, whiffs, unfortunately, forces the roll from Osiris. Like, that bar is going to be pretty high for both of them here. They both have to be careful as another trade comes through. Embern is quite low, but there we go. And it evens out. Had an opportunity to get more damage there, she did, but she didn't go for it, which is kind of a curiosity in my IMO TBH, but it's still early days yet, as we are going to see some trades coming through. Into the impaling thrust, it lands. That's huge. Osiris might be behind, however, he still has his tier. So this is actually really, really good for Osiris. He might be able to snowball off of this fight and actually do quite well. Embern is trying for that little bit of counter pressure. Osiris looking for any and all ways to get in on that neutral. He's not really going for these follow-ups, bar he's heading for that impaling thrust, which is super reactable. But as we've seen, mistakes can be made, and he is in a position to capitalize on them. Oof goes for that there once again. We are going to see the Great Cat here chilling now in neutral with the Embern is taking a lot of damage here. 300 HP to 500. Like, again, that's 2 mistakes away for Osiris, but it's pretty much the same for Embern here. Oh, and the piercing fan comes through in the attempt to get the dagger, but no, the tracking failed. As the L1 comes out there, tries to get that follow-up, the off rack comes through there to get another little bit of damage. We're not seeing many other follow-ups. The second L1 might have been able to actually get that hit there. The hyper armor definitely would have saved her and been in a position to get another hit off, but I don't know. This could very much go either way as the bestial roar comes out. 30 HP in a dream. We are going to see Osiris here going for these jumping attacks, looking for any way to get his here. The piercing fang comes through. The rollouts, he had an opportunity there to put her away, but unfortunately Embern takes damage. The standing R 191 to 32 and the piercing fang. And Embern takes the W. Very, very nice showing here. That is going to be 2-1. Embern takes the W. Jeez, very close matches. Very, very close matches. Alright, folks, we're going to take just a very quick break. We're on the last leg. We're just to the semi-finals now. It's going to be Axi versus Droker. Argentina versus Peru. And then in the losers finals, it's going to be Embern versus Iseki. So, today is the day that SA eats well, ladies and gentlemen, by the looks of things. But we will be back in just a moment. So, chat you all in just a moment. And we'll chat you then. Take care.
Hiding in your Wi-Fi. Oh, Open secrets, anyone can find me. Hear your music running through my mind. I'm thinking Miku, Miku, ooh-wee-oo. 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 I'm on top of the world because of you, and all I wanted to do is follow you, and I'll keep singing along to all of you, and I'll keep singing along. I'm thinking Miku, Miku, ooh-wee-oo. 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 Miku, what's it like to be you? 2020, looking in the rear view. Play me, break me, make me feel like Superman. You can't do anything that you want. I'm on top of the world because of you, and all I wanted to do is follow you, and I'll keep singing along to all of you, and I'll keep singing along. And I'm on top of the world because of you, and all I wanted to do is follow you, and I'll keep playing along with all of you, and I'll keep playing along. I'm thinking Miku, Miku, ooh-wee-oo. 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 I'm thinking Miku, ooh-wee-oo. Thinking Miku, ooh-wee-oo. Call me Miku, blue hair, blue tie, hiding in your Wi-Fi. Open secrets, anyone can find me. Hear your music running through my mind. I'm thinking Miku, Miku, ooh-wee-oo. I'm thinking Miku, Miku, ooh-wee-oo.
All right, folks. There we go. All right, we've had a little bit of a break. I've had a chance to rest my poor vocal cords. Oh, the scuffed tourney intro screen. The context for that, Valentine, is that Jaker made this mix, like little songs or whatever, and funny bits for his tourneys, and I thought that one was fucking hysterical, so I couldn't help it. I was more shocked that the Suwu one didn't show up, to be honest with you. Her screaming, Egon! But, you know, listen, we can't all be perfect. Either way, let's get this show on the road, as we are moving on now to the semi-finals. It is going to be Axie versus Stroker. And I am going to have to copy that name here, because I cannot spell for shit on Fork Bestie. Alright, I'm back to work. Good luck, everyone. There was no sober person announcing that day. Dude, I vaguely remember that tournament, to be honest with you. There's some blank spots there. Alright, either way, let me get this sorted. 0. Oops. Cool. Stroker. SA is eating well today, by the looks of things, because it is going to be Axie versus Stroker. Cool. And it is going to be... Oh, no. Axie versus... Not Stroker. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh, no. It is Stroker. Stroker's up now. Okay. Cool. We got there. We got there, folks. Let's get this show on the road. Stroker is on the right. And we're just waiting for Axie to get in. We just at them real quick. Up! I love admin. I love admin! Alright. And then it is... If it's winners finals, it's going to be a best of 7. There we go. We're getting all of our shenanigans set up and running here. Which one is better? Rakshasa or G-Katana? So here's how Luber explained it to me. I've messaged Axie, you were up, and he's like, sorry, is she shocked by Miku and an ER PvP scream? The answer is it's going to depend. If Flaming Strike is allowed, which my rule set currently doesn't, because the players rioted, then probably not. Then regular Katana just has an awful lot of extra things that can help its moveset an awful lot more, that complement it. It has an awful lot more tools at its disposal, whereas Rak has the hyper armor and obviously quite a fast Ash of War. If I was to pick which one to fight, I'd probably sooner the Rak, because I know what it can do. Luber destroyed with... Yeah, exactly. I mean, Luber's a creature to begin with. What is going on? Why is it doing this? Bruh. I'm so annoyed. What the fuck? Yes. Alright, there we go. More music. Why? This is better? Okay, either way. Alright, well there's the builds. We have this 60 dex, 16 strength versus the 50 int build. Marry me, Miku. I'm good with that, honestly. But either way. Most professionally run fucking tournament known to man. Alright, folks. We do have our players in. Are we going to see some gaming? Or is the thing going to break? It is going to break, but that's okay. Cool. Alright, neat. Miku hentai fanfiction when? Ideally never. Alright. Both players are in. I blame Jaker, personally. It's all Jaker's fault. We have both of our players in. Let's get this show on the road. Boom! We are going to see some immediate pressure here from the side of Axie, who does actually manage to get the Egon Spear in. Oh, but unfortunately the hyper armor of Stroker is just going to say no fam as the magical missile is out, and we see the runaways here come out from the side of Axie. And the pots! Oh me, oh my. There ain't no way. As both of them try to do it, but the magic missile actually gets the interruption. Force back in now once again. We are going to see it. Force back now. Stroker doing a decent job there of just getting those rollouts. Punishing the attempted hyper armor there on the side of Axie. But the off stock here is doing an absolutely crazy job of just getting that keep away there. As we are going to see now. Axie going for the runouts there once more. Goes for a jumping attack there. Standing L1, the R2s are going to be really strong, and this is that jump R2 comes in just to try and get that interrupt. But what Stroker needs to do as soon as he sees that attempted pressure is he needs to go for that jump attack. As we see now, the jump R2s come out, managing to clip at the very end of that, as we are going to see the off-stock here doing a decent job of just poking out, making sure that we keep Axie honest, and Axie is being kept very honest. However, the sword dance comes through, but it's just going to be too little too late, as Axie is now quite far behind. As Droker is going to be keeping up that pokes, and he's only going to fairly sparingly use... very sparingly use this Vi there just to keep that pressure, and that's going to be Stroker taking the win for round 1. Again, this is a first of 4, a best of 7. Were those two guys waiting this time? No, they were on... Axie was only in maybe like a minute max, so we carried on with it. Still not entirely sure why that replaced that. Did I change? I must have changed something that I didn't mean to. Oopsie daisies. There we go. We see both players back in now once again, all reset and ready. Let us crack on with round 2. Boom. Magical missile out now once again. Keeping up that pressure. We do actually see that actually manage to get the interrupt there from Kilo. The LGS is kind of a curiosity here in this matchup. I don't really know what it does. If we do see the hyper armor presses come out, there's not very much that it can do. Even with the increased poise damage, it does struggle somewhat to get the breaks that it needs in the first hit. Sometimes it needs both hits! And actually a beautiful cover there with the magical missile. Uh-oh. Almost managed to get a little bit of a frame trap there, forcing a true combo, but Axie is very, very low here. And there you go. The jump is going to be called out there. 600 HP. And the off stock there doing a decent job here. Axie is in a spot of a bother. Stroker here is still chilling. The harpoon. There she blows, but unfortunately we're not going to see any damage from it, as we are going to be back onto Shamshir, which is probably a much better pick. It just has the more aggressive options. And there we go. The jump comes through there, and it actually comes through at just the right time. A bit of a blunder there from the side of Stroker. However, the orb still comes through, and a good roll comes out there from the side of Axie, who is going to be chipped down slowly but surely. Stroker here is going to be going for the parry. The hail parry comes through. And that's going to be all she wrote. One of the reasons why I'm not restricting Mage quite so much, just as like a heads up, is I actually want to see what people can do with it. Because it's a very underdeveloped playstyle ever since Slicer Mage, way back when. Like, I always had a feeling it could go far, but no one plays it. Which makes it quite difficult for anyone to really make rulings. Like, if certain rules need to be put in at some stage for Mage, then fair enough. But I don't know. I'm still kind of content to see players experiment with more ideas. Alright, we have both players in. Especially in a competitive setting. Obviously, the rule is Lucy is too good. Yeah, maybe. Alright, kaboom! As we are going to see the physics come out now on the Shamshir, which is probably a much safer pick here, as the hyper armor just comes in and says, no sir, you are not. This is my turn. And we're going to see Axie now keep a very, very long neutral here, not really wanting to get too close, waiting for a little opportunity to get some stuff as the harpoon comes out. Good rollout comes out there on the side of Axie, who just does not want to be eating too much damage with the panic roll there. Is going to be punished. And the magic missile. Are we going to see some pressure? Stroker is doing a really good job of covering himself, as we are going to see the more harpoons come out there once more. Oof. The HTS swap there is definitely a good move, as we do see now the swap directly back over to this Vi. Good rollout there on the side of Axie. Stroker there forced back now. We do see once again the offstock comes through. Rolling attack comes through there as well, but the hyper armor is unfortunately just there and ready, as we do see that rollout come out as well. Axie's struggling to get these hits in, and I think an awful lot of it is down to the fact that Stroker is covering themselves really, really well. We're not seeing that really nice mix of different magics there to try and really throw your opponent off or to capitalize on very far rolls from a miles away. Ooh, and the pots are out into a running attack there in the halberd. Halberd is a risky maneuver, especially with the hyper armor as the Sacred Blade comes out. Good roll out there on the side of Axii, but again, that is the weakness of halberd, as we see 17 HP on the board here, and a very strong, and misses the roll. And that's all she wrote, and it's going to be 3-0 to Stroker in this best of 7, first to 4. I played 2 matches, first to 100. I did a bow 99 with Flues a long ass time ago. Oh, it was really fun. No, Axii, you're up. No, you did press the wrong button. That was a fun time. That was a very, very fun time. I had a ball doing that. Flues is such a homie. The Floozy. Alright, either way, we have both of our players in. Let's crack on. What could be match point. Will we see some adaptation here on the side of Axii? Is the question. As we do see an immediate attempt to punish the free-aimed harpoons. For there she blows. But unfortunately, no. Alas not. We do see some nice damage there off of that magical missile. Another one comes through there. We do see the rolls over the top there. The Rakshasa is out, but the Gugs should be able to break it. And there we go, into the Weed Cutter, which comes out. Stroker's taking quite an awful lot of damage. A considerable health lead now so far on Axii. However, those harpoons are not going to land. Stroker there going for that, is going to eat that. The Weed Cutter comes out though, and it does leverage that hyper armor into that. We do see though Axii takes an awful lot of damage. And once again, the magic missiles come out to try and get that. Nice bit of pressure to try and force something into the off-stock, into the Weed Cutter now once more. Both players are starting to even this one out by a considerable margin. About 400 HP in the difference into the Weed Cutter there. Good roll out there on the side of Stroker, who does manage to get his tier procced. 400 HP. And that's going to be Axii taking a stock. Very nicely done. Axii 1, Stroker 3. Not out of it yet. But yeah, it seems in the top 4 right now, we have Axii, Stroker, and of course, Seki, Argentina, Peru, and Chile, respectively. And Embern, the last holdout of NA. Miku, I agree. Amal, you like hyper armor spam, huh? Well, it's interesting in this matchup because both players here do have their hyper armor, and the regular G-Cat just gets bullied. But I'm curious as to what the actual poise damage is on the one-handed Zwei. That could be changing this matchup considerably. And we don't see hyper armor weapons do much very often anyway. Vinland. Well, either way, we do see the physics coming out. Ooh, the free aim actually manages to land there. Oh, and the Weed Cutter comes out there. We do see the first bit of a trade. Tries to go for the follow-up there as the side of Axii, but unfortunately not quite able to do it. We do see the swap over to Off-Shear on the side of Stroker here. It is going to be 3-1. Still in the favor of Stroker, which is, of course, kind of to be expected. Axii has quite the hills to climb. Good punish there on with the off-shear on the side of Stroker, who actually gets a nice bit of chip there. He has to reevaluate now how he's going to approach the fight. He still has a couple of stocks to burn through as the magical missile comes out there, just to try and keep up that pressure. The off-stock is back here once more, keeping up that, getting some really nice off of a true combo. But the Weed Cutter is going to be able to get that break, and I believe this should be a neutral trade on the hyper armor between these two, but I'm not 100% sure. Good rollouts though on the side of Stroker, who was in a position there to perhaps get the roll punish. Oh, on the off shear. Oh my god! Waves of Darkness in a tournament? What? There ain't no way. There ain't no way. What is this? Oof. Horseback now once again. We are going to see both players chilling in neutral. Oh, the HTS swap comes through there now. Almost able to meet it. The Fox is going to get a little bit of damage there. Axie is low, but it's not going to matter as we even this one out. Phew. And that's going to be 2-1. 2-3, sorry. Alright, we're going to have to see some adaptations. The Falx. Yes, the Falx. I keep forgetting. Rakshasa not banned. No, Rakshasa isn't banned. I don't think there's much of a need to really ban it. It does do insane damage and it can win off of trades, but to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. It does have an awful lot of options. I will give it that much, and it's a popular setup for Stroker. Yeah, there we go. All right, we're good. Insane weapon. It's pretty strong, yeah, for sure. But I think it's actually in the territory of being alongside the other very strong setups. But either way, all players are in. We do see the rack. We do see that immediate punish come out there on the side of Stroker, but who is going to use that magical missile there to try and give him some options. Ooh, good rollouts there come out on the side of Axie, who is definitely setting up. We are back onto the regular katana here as the running attack comes through and manages to get that break. The follow-up R1 is not going to hit, unfortunately. Not sure what the idea of that follow-up there is, but maybe he's just a bit disoriented that he has an actual spear hanging onto him, which I know would be pretty concerning, as we are going to see these rollouts there. The strafe did come through, but unfortunately, managing to just about roll that Uggs there. The standing R1 is the side of Axie. Oh, no, dear. Is it going to explode in the air? No, it is not. We do see that come back out there now once more. We do see the swap back over to the rack. Oh dear, that's nasty there. Axie actually gets caught in a spot of bother. The Fox comes through there once more. And the very speedy attack that comes out there on the side of Axie is going to be avoided, as we do see that nice little bit of chip damage come through there, trying to force a little bit. He needs to get those magic missiles forced back in there, into the crouch attack, into the L1, into another L1 there from the off stock. Axie is actually quite low here, but both players do still have their tiers by about 500 HP in the difference. Into that. Didn't go for the follow-up there. Is Stroker perhaps a little bit low on the owl endurance, as we are going to see another magical missile come through there. Another one through, into another. Axie does manage to roll all of them. We do see the R1 manage to land into a crouch attack. Axie's very low. This could be it. And that's all she wrote. The magical missile takes it. And just, you always remember to double tap, folks. You got to make sure. And that is the best of 7 done for the winners finals. It was 2-4 in the favor of Stroker. Dark Horse did not expect him to do quite as well as he's done so far. And now we're on to losers round 3, and then on to the bronze match. It is going to be Mburn versus Iseki, which is going to be back to the best of 3s. Cool beans. No, I'd win. Very pro. Alright. Alright. Cool beans. We get this shenanigans set up here. Losers round 3. It is back to a best of 3. Banned. Rip. What happened? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Rack. I think it's kind of like Shunter to a degree. Keep in mind that 90% of what that thing does can be roll BS'd, which is really freaking funny. If not more. I think the only thing you have to really worry about with that weapon is the Ash, the weed cutter. That's pretty much the only thing that I've worried about. Right, let me get Mburn. Ash. Mburn. Ash. Iseki. You are both up. Weed Cutter, not even a real... can you react Hyper Armor trade with it? Against some things, perhaps. Maybe Uggs and Great Hammers and such. And you can roll it? Yeah. Well, the only reason I say is because you can punish for trying to go for those rolling attacks. Okay, cool beans. Can you react if you roll? You can roll. Yeah, most of it is reactable, to be honest with you. I do find that the animation blending on Grey Cat isn't quite as impressive as on even, let's say, Gugs, and I don't know why that is. I think it's the animation just takes a little bit longer. I find it very weird. It's all very strafable as well, unless they down angle. But either way, Embern versus Seki. Let's crack on with this best of three. There's going to be Embern on the off-rack main dag once again, versus the Dismounter on the side of Iseki. Boom! And the physiques are out. And the bleed is up on the side of Embern, who is going to be going for the off-rack L1 there, but it is going to whiff from Kilo. The Dismounter here is definitely going to be a good idea, as we are going to see these running attacks come through. The empty jumps coming out from Kilo. The L1 comes through there, but unfortunately the rolling attack is going to land, and we do see a nice roll come out from Embern. Embern is unfortunately going to be panic rolling and got caught in a pivot, and that entire interaction is a considerable percentage of her health bar. Iseki doing a decent enough job here, going for a running attack, not quite able to do it. The Bestial Roar does manage to land there, getting a nice tasty bit of chip there on the side of Iseki, but it is quite a hill to climb here in this fight, as the Dismounter is going to continue with those running attacks, trying to leverage just that nasty amount of phantom range that comes out on it. Both sides trying to keep up a little bit of a gentle spacing. Iseki here much more confident in their spacing, as we do see that off dag there is going to be rolled repeatedly as the jumping attack comes through. Neither side necessarily wanting to aggress too heavily into this, although I say that. And of course the caster's curse comes through, and a nice R2 as Iseki is going to get a nice bit of damage. Running attack comes through there once more. And there you're looking at that there. Embern is in quite the pickle, it would seem. She's not able to get her footing, as that is going to be a running attack that takes once again. Iseki goes for another running attack. It is going to whiff, forcing another whiff, as that's going to be Millicent's procced. And that is going to be a considerable amount of damage. The interrupt there on the attack. The Frostpot comes through into a standing R1. Tries to go for the follow-up, but she's just too far away. And that is going to be the Frostpot procced there, ladies and gents. Another running attack comes through. She is going to go onto the two-handed, goes for another running R1. The Weed Cutter comes through there to try and get some damage, but unfortunately Iseki is just right back in, looking for that pressure, managing to get that, but the trade comes through, but he can afford to take them. It's 33 HP in a dream. We do see the off dag is out. The off dag is out, and it's Jover. That is going to be 1 point in the favor of Iseki. Very, very aggressive there on the side of Iseki. Not necessarily afraid of it, and certainly not letting Embern have an opportunity to get her footing and really come in. Proof that Rakshasa isn't OP here. Keep in mind there's numerous things that could affect this. The rack I have seen, from what I've seen from fighting people, the rack is very, very strong. Rack off dag especially is a really nasty setup. It's going to be matchup dependent, obviously. Matchup dependent can really make a lot of difference here. My general vibe is it's very strong, but that's okay, because most of the meta is dominated by insanely strong things. But either way, let's get the show on the road. 1-0 in this best of 3, and we do see the physique coming out. As we are going to see now. Both players chilling. Another Bestial Roar comes out there to try and get the punish. Run attack comes through. Nicely done. We do see these empty jumps coming through.
tries to go for that bit of pressure. Isekai being very, very aggressive because he realizes he can afford to. Because Embern is being very hesitant to go for these presses. Like, it's kind of interesting here. Not really leveraging the strength of that hyper armor as the R2 comes out, but unfortunately the strafe comes through. Very, very odd interaction comes through on that there, as we do see the tally swaps come through. Jump attack is going to just whiff over. Oof. And the rolling attack, the crouch attack comes through, and good roll out there from the side of Iseki, who goes for another, but lightning does not strike twice. And there we go. Run attack once more comes through, and actually managing to land that, tries to punish the counter aggression attempt there on the side of Embern. Embern is just not in a good enough position to be able to get any of the damage here at all. Iseki there doing a decent enough job there, actually getting the standing R1s forced back in. Now we do see that's both sides set in center, as we do see Iseki here keeping up that pressure. We forced back in there, the standing R1 almost whiff punished there by the off tag. Iseki doing a decent job, goes for the R2. It's not going to land, but a nice tasty bit of chip is back on the board now once again, as we see the tally swap over to green turtle. The turtle. Oof, actually managing to get that hit, and they're forced back now once again. Ooh, actually hit there. Oh my god, Embern been put in a little bit of a schmix. Oh, that's gonna be nasty, as we do see finally a punish there come through on that. Embern is forced back. Ooh, forced back now once again as another bomb comes through. As yet another goes through now. Running attacks forced back in now. Embern is going to be taking those nice bits of damage. The running attack is going to come through. We are going to see the bombs are out. Embern is under an awful lot of pressure. Both players now chilling as the standing R1s. And the backstab! And a GG. And that's going to be Iseki moving on to losers finals. And Folds has said, can we get a reset? Ember didn't great rune. No, we can't do that. That wouldn't be fair to all the other players who've also forgotten to rune arc in other tourneys. If you forget it, it's kind of on you. And that is going to be that. And SA is going to be looking to win this losers bracket. Is going to be looking to move on here. SA, that's going to be Chile, Argentina, and Peru are eating well this day, as we move on to the best of 7 between Iseki and Axie. Unfortunately, slower weapons just remain terrible. The way that you would do it is you would give them one move that's not difficult to react, or you have an offhand that enables the setup. Just with the game. With how the game works. They need an option that isn't the best option and force mixes from there. That's really how you do it. But that's just me. I think that you can still make slower weapons work, but unfortunately with how these games function, they're always going to be kind of doo-doo. Because even with hyper armor, they're doo-doo. It doesn't actually change any matchups, really. It just makes them slightly more annoying. Which is sad, but that's just the nature of the beast. Alright, the bronze match is a best of 7, as we are on to the losers finals between Axie and Isekai. Chile versus Argentina. Who is Axie? Yep, they are just terrible. Hyper armor just makes them annoying to fight is the thing. Like, an awful lot of people confuse annoying with OP. Hyper armor having the ability to force trades and stuff like that is definitely strong. But I'm not a game developer. I couldn't tell you how things could be fixed or whatever. All I know is that slow weapons without any option to aggress are just bad. That would be my general opinion. Because they just can't do anything. You can make them work for sure, but at that point, then you're just styling on your opponent. Let me just get Axie back in now once again. Ah, there we go. Axie's in. Let me get the players pinged. Just letting the players know how long the fight will go on, just in case I make a boo-boo. The argument is that it slows down the fights by a very considerable margin because it cuts down one side's ability to aggress effectively. It leads to an incredibly slow gameplay loop, which is not fun for one of the parties. And because of how hyper armor works, and it's usually attached to slow weapons, they don't actually have any aggressive options either. They're just kind of forced to sit in neutral until some person swings. I think weapons are the wrong way of looking at how damaging hyper armor is to the game, and compare that then instead to something like an Ash of War, like Spinning Slash on a couple of weapons. I'm not sure if it's been patched, but Spinning Slash getting hyper armor on certain setups can definitely be very problematic. And Embern, thank you so much for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. It was a blast having you in. Yeah, he's taking a slash real quick. Fun as always, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. I really do. It was nice having you in. It's deeply, deeply appreciated. Your tallies are wrong? It's because Iseki isn't in the world yet. I haven't set up anything yet. Because there we go. Now it's fixed. Image not found. It's a really good tally. Where'd you get that? That's crazy, I know. I'm not actually sure. It's when people leave the world, sometimes it can cause some issues. But yeah, the person running can't approach due to not having a good weapon. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're just waiting for Iseki to finish pissing, and then we're good to go. This one is a problem with the overlay. Is it? Okay. Another thing to keep in mind is like hard to approach, but I thought I would be more patient. The CGS, yeah. The rushdown against the CGS was messy. Awesome, cool. All right. Oh me oh my! But yeah, the hyper armor discussion is hard because you have hyper armor options like Stone Club, which have their own weaknesses and it's its own kettle of fish. Stone Club is very funny right now. Obviously, things like Endure introducing like super armor and stuff like that is always problematic. Like, we could have seen from, like, DS3 competitive what happens when one person has the ability to aggress with a fast weapon. Who would have thought that would be problematic? Endure is just stupid. But that's super armor rather than anything else. I actually think super armor and the forms of hit stun that can actually get interrupted and stuff like that isn't a terrible idea. At least you know it's never going to break unless you can force a status proc or something like that. It's very short, cheap. I know it's super quick now, but you just whiff punish it to death, and there's nothing it can do. And it's encouraged to press because it's so fucking fast. But it's definitely up there in like the considerations for being a meta setup, or at least being meta adjacent. Maybe not hard meta because Shamshir, TS, and all that exist, but when you start loosening down the rule set. Well, actually, no. In the unrestricted game, BHB just wins instantly. You are asking me to do things that I'm not going anywhere near that, although I will copy that. Thank you. And I'll send it in DM later, Axie. Alright, Iseki's in. Nice. Alright, cool. Yeah, this has actually been a pretty fucking quick tournament so far. I'll answer that when we have a moment, Valentin, because right now we have both of our players in. Unfortunately, nope, that is not what I'm looking for. We do have the builds, 37 end, 54 strength versus 60 dex and 33 endurance on the form of Axie. No worries. Alright, cool. Nice build. Nice build, bro. And we're about to get underway. Nice. Kaboom! As we are out in our bronze match, best of 7. Axie has been brought low to loser's bracket. Eseki has been winning their way through loser's bracket right now, losing only to Zdroker, which is fascinating. As the sword dance comes out there, as both players are going to be on the LGS, it is going to be a strength versus dex match, as we are seeing the whiff punish restored, ladies and gentlemen, as both sides are just mashing like you wouldn't believe. And it does seem as though Axie is getting the better hand here, and we do see it there, another little bit of damage as the sword dance comes out there once more into the R2. Neither side necessarily in the position to do it. Oof. That is going to be Isekai taking the first round, winning probably one of the scrappiest matches I've ever seen. Holy moly. Alright, so here's why BHB is broken. Not only does it have an insane moveset that's very fast and kind of covers half the map, what it also does is it has two ways to get unreactable attacks. It's crouch R1s or rolling R1s. Which is unreactable when two-handed. And it also has insane damage. Insane. It's actually comparable frame data on the crouch R1 to an off dagger. It is absolutely bonkers. But either way, we've both of our players in. There we go. Yeah, it's an off dagger that hits harder than it has any right to. But either way, we're going to look at this here. As we are going to see Isekai just continue to absolutely go to town here. And the actual insane amounts of damage that are going through here. Axie's nearly on death's door! Holy moly! What the hell? Give me a chance to cast, lads! What the fuck? Holy sheesh! Bro! What the hell? Well, you don't even consider the range on the two-hand CR1. It's literally dagger crouch attack with may more damage in range. Yes. As well as that, it has a mix out of it that it can mash. It can go for a quick poke. I say quick poke, a quick wave dash into an R1, into a crouch R1, or I can go for the R2. You have so many options, and that's before you even think to consider just all the other shenanigans you could do. It's broken. It's a broken weapon. It is like S tier. Stroker, could you please leave? Thank you. It's a best of 7, you silly goose. Give me a second. Let me wait for... Give me just a moment here to get Stroker to leave the world. Give me a moment. Silly goose moment. You. Okay, cool. Right, away we go. Alright, and there we have it. Let's go. Boom! The bolt is out. The punish is in, but just shy of being hit. As we are going to see the LGS here going for that jump R2 into the follow-up R2s. Good spacing there comes out on the side of Axie, who realizes now more so than ever that you need to respect the hell out of that thing, as we are going to see some damage, and the sword dance comes through there to get that nice bit of pressure. Forced back in now once again. We are going to see Isekai going for the jump R2s of their own, but unfortunately choosing to go for the follow-up R1, getting that backstab grab, and that is going to be Axie actually managing to get some nice damage there, but the sword dance comes through into the R2. The roll-in is going to be punished. And that's on Fork Bestie, as we are going to see yet more damage. The standing R1 comes through on the side of Iseki, and we are going to see these R2s come through into a standing R1 of the sword dance. As both of them go to the follow-ups, as we are going to see Iseki going for the follow-up R1s, but unfortunately he's going to roll in, and he's going to take an insane amount of damage. Iseki is on death's door, but believe you me, with the red feather here, but the off dagger comes out. The Mind Gauche. Whew! That is going to be 3. Oh no, it's 2-1 on the side of Axie taking a stock. Isekai going to be down to only 1 stock ahead. Sword Dance War? Yeah, Sword Dance is very, very strong. But keep in mind, that's pretty much enabling LGS to exist. So we'll see what happens. Either way, as we peek over the parapet and have a quick look here to see what happens, as both players are going to get pretty close to each other here. Frostpot is going to be out. That's going to do insane damage as the Sword Dance comes out from Hilo. As the R2s come out, another Sword Dance there. Look at that damage there as Axie is just been put through the one-man blender. That is so rough as the follow-up on Sword Dance comes through. Oh, the R2 charged comes through. 498, 115. Holy moly, that thing does damage. What the hell? Isekai with the 3-1 lead. Insane flawless. That's insane. What an AR stick. And noting here, Axie is on Dex. Isekai is on Strength. And neither of them have the 2-hand tally. Kind of insane, but either way, let's get this show on the road. Kaboom! What could be match point here, ladies and gentlemen. 2600. Both players dead even in terms of health. Oh, that was unfortunate because the Frostpot does get a little bit of chip damage there right off the bat. Into the jump R2s coming out there. Isekai going for that insane amount of aggression into the Sword Dance. Into another follow-up there once again. Iseki is just on fire today as we see that tally swap come over into another Sword Dance. 140 HP left on the side of Axie. Isekai is just going to absolute town here. And the follow-up comes through into another Sword Dance. And the follow-up and then the off-dag and the mash. We mash to our heart's content into the kick. A little bit of BM. But that is going to be that. Isekai just... Holy moly. With punish restored, so true, bestie. Welcome to the post-neutral world. Holy sheesh. Alright, let's mark our scores. This is going to be Axie 1, Isekai 4. Any patch 1.113 kissers in chat? Any kissers of the patch? Alright, we're on to the grand finals. Which is going to be a best of 9 to finish us out today. And in the case of a bracket reset, it's going to be a best of 5. Finals. There we go. So it is going to be Isekai versus Stroker. Cool. Let's get the show on the road. I love spirit summons. Yay! Alright, folks. New Stroker. Alright, well, SA is eating well today. It is going to be a fight between Chile and Peru. Yeah, I hope everyone's enjoyed this little tourney today. We're making really good time. We'll probably be done before the 3.5 hour mark. Very nicely done, everyone. Thank you all for being so cooperative. Unfortunately, we did miss 2 matches on account of a ladle lover and the kick to initiate. Alright.
Both of these players, I believe, know each other quite well, but it is going to be Iseki versus Stroker. Match 1 of the grand finals. Again, if Isekai manages to get through, it's going to be a best of 5. Following this best of 9, there's quite a hill to climb and quite a few matches ahead of us, folks, as we are going to see the Chilling Mist into the Magic Missile that is going to come out. But of course... Oh, but the interrupt comes through into a follow-up. The follow-up, Isekai doing a decent job. The run R1 comes through on the side of Zdroker, who is going to be chilling like a villain here, looking to play off of that off-stock an awful lot more. He is going to be punished for an awful lot of his presses. We see the swap over to just a regular Grey Cat. We're probably seeing some of that as the true combo comes through. Zdroker is doing a decent job here, but Isekai is going to be hit for an awful lot of damage there. 945, sorry, to 1497. A considerable amount of damage here. Good roll out there on the side of Iseki. And the trade comes through into the true combo there. 977 to 574. Evening it out is the side of Stroker, who is going to be hopefully looking to get some shenanigans there. The hyper armor comes through into the anti-air. And the magic missile comes out. The trade comes through. He tries to catch the panic roll out of that as the run attack comes through into a trade. Oh, and the back swing is not going to go through, and that's 666. That, I believe, is 2 hits away. However, we are going to max out on the damage here, but it's not going to matter. As a nice, tasty little... I believe that was a glintstone shard comes through there on the side of Stroker to actually get that win. That's going to be 1-0 so far in the favor of Stroker. GG's. The SA rivalry will no doubt come through in this one here. World Cup. What will happen? We will soon find out. Alright, as we see the warp over to the Duelist Square. Nicely done, chaps. Alright, Stroker versus Seki. Okay. I actually don't know how this one's going to pan out, folks. As we just take a quick look at the builds. 54-37. 28-50. Int versus strength. And Coolio. And a little bit of int, just for good measure. Just for good measure. Alrighty then. Let's get this show on the road, as we do have both of our players in. Round 2. In the finals, in the best of 9. Stroker is up 1. And look at this here. We do see the magic missile come out there. Stroker is going to go for that magic missile and immediately take pressure out of it. The follow-up comes through, almost managing to land that rolling attack there, which is of course what you want to do on Uggs. Play mostly off the rolls. We do see a weird random poise event. Forced back in now. Seki is currently down, managing to get a little bit of that damage in there as well. Just a little bit of chip. Beautiful spacing on the side of Stroker here. Had an opportunity to go for a rolling R1 there, but chose not to do it as the magic missile comes through just to cover himself just a little. What I might be interested to see is if he uses that to cover a flask, which is probably the smarter thing, as we've seen Lucy do quite regularly over the past few days as the rolls come through here. Managing to get that. The follow-up R1 comes through as well. Goes for a running attack, managing to punish that. Actually managing to land the standing R1 as well, as Stroker is just getting insane damage. Actually managing to get a nice tasty bit of damage there. Tries to go for the follow-up, but the follow-up R1 on the Grey Cat is able to get that interruption no problem, which is of course something that Stroker is going to have to worry about, as we do see that as the magic missile comes out and actually manages to get that bit of pressure, electing to roll it there once more. And there it goes for a running attack there as well, as we do see the off-stock managing to get that. The crouch R1 into a true combo, tries to go for the backswing. It's not quite able to do it. The swap over to Red Feather, but no. While he goes for the grease, the glintstone shard is able to get a tasty bit of damage, bringing it up to 2-0 in the favor. Illegal pew pew. Sorry for the gun kill. It's an interesting one for sure. The G-Cat is definitely going to be in a spot of bother here. It doesn't really have space to do what it needs to do. But the Hyper Armor is is still a Gugs. The off-stock as well. 104 poise. Mage wins 2 weeks in a row. That would be intriguing.
And that would be very intriguing. But either way, let's get this show on the road as it's 2-0 on round 3 as we peek over the parapet. Thank you for the subscribe, sir. I appreciate it, Valentin. And looking at this here now once again, we are going to see both sides crouching here in neutral, looking for any and all opportunities to get some damage in. Tries to go for the running attack there once more. Goes for the follow-up. It's not going to land, but that's okay. We are seeing some nice pressure. The hyper armor comes through there just to get that pressure. The hyper armor crouch R1 on the side of the Zwei just to keep up that pressure, but the Grey Cat is going to be able to get a nice bit of damage in there as a run. Jump attack actually managed to catch Isekai unawares here. What we might actually see is some jump aways. Jump aways give you an insane amount of reach, but that hit from neutral into the follow-up there must be fairly close there with the bleed proc, which is kind of a curiosity, as we do see that attempt to force an aim punch, but it is not going to work as Iseki here has his lead narrowing by a fairly considerable margin, within 100 HP of each other here. Forced back in now. Once again, the good rollouts come out there once again, and a running attack from the side of the Zwei as the Grey Cat there tries to catch, but it's no way, no how, just too far away into that trade there, and the hyper armor is definitely doing work as Isekai's lead is now gone. However, following up there into the crouch R1, but it isn't going to connect, as we do see the off-stock here tries to go for that hyper armor to punish any kind of counter aggression, as we do see the magic missile actually get that interrupt into a run attack. Is going to land in the attempt to roll out there, is actually manages to get the hit. Isekai is actually getting some very good value off of those overhead hits, but that's going to be a true combo hitting there, the crouch R1 into that, and that's going to be Stroker taking another stock in a 3-0 lead. What a day for Peru, ladies and gentlemen. They will be on the streets partying after tonight. Holy sheesh. This is actually a good match. Interesting, interesting. Kind of interesting. People talk ad nauseum about how good GCAT is, and I just don't see it. I think it gets crucified by so much just for its moveset. Like thrusting sword into Rack, it's a death sentence. Shamshir into Rack is a death sentence. And we're seeing here even the hyper armor trades to be able to force that, because the animation takes so long, is kind of problematic for it to deal with as well. As we are going to see both of our players going for their respective buffs. Nom nom nom, they need an extra little bit. I'm not entirely sure what that swap was, but happens anyway. As the magic missile is not going to land there. Both players are dead even. No one's been hit yet. No one wants to make. People just aren't used to make it, as we do see that the backstab on the run R2. Beautiful showing here on the side of Iseki, who does manage to get that. A little bit of a seamless desync there comes out, as we are going to see Iseki there go for that jump attack there. Both sides are very vulnerable to airs, but I'm kind of curious to see how this next one is going to go. We could see some neutral skips come out on the side of Zidroker as well, and he is in a position he was not quite able to get that run attack punished, but we do see the true combo come out there once again, the crouch R1 into R1. Curious though, but he still has access to all of his magic shenanigans that can force Isekai out of shape. But we're not really seeing it now, as it does seem that he is going to be forcing these rolls left and right. Crouch attack comes through. It's not going to land on Fork Bestie, as we're going to see the run back there. Another running attack there to follow up from the side of Stroker. Stroker caught in the corner, but manages to worm his way out. Oh, that's unfortunate, as we see the crouch attack come out, but it is going to whiff from Kilo's. Stroker is quite low here, but Iseki manages to get that whiff punish there. The Peruvian on the back foot here once more as the crouch attack comes through. Good roll out there on the side of Stroker. Goes for a run attack himself. It's not going to land. He's playing far too much off the Zwei as the R2 comes out there to try and catch the attempted whiff punish there as the run attack comes through once more on the side of Stroker. We see another whiff punish there. Beautiful whiff punish comes through. Whiff punish has been restored as these rolls come through. Is he going to be in a position? He tries to go for the BS. The style is not going to be his friend this day though, as the R2 manages to get the punish. He's very, very far behind. He has to play off that off stock if he wants to pull this one back and just slowly but surely chip his opponent down. He can interrupt pretty much anything his opponent does. The run attack is going to be punishing on the weapon art there into the trade. The off stock manages to get that. It's 172 to 700 177 HP, as we are going to see that slow little bit of regen come out here on the side of Stroker, as the magic missile comes out again just to give himself a little bit more room. Unfortunately, we are going to see a Seki rolling out there. That's going to be the Tear Gun. That's huge into that attempt to get the punish, but the R2 is out now on the LGS. We do see that the Sword Dance comes through as a whiff punish, and that is going to be a Seki on the scorecard at long last. G to the G, my G's. That's a good... These are good matches, lads. These are good freaking matches. We're seeing some nice weaknesses of both setups. We're seeing some nice variety. We're seeing some things that can counter each other. And we're seeing good adaptation across the board. I think this is... SA should be proud of themselves today. They're putting on one hell of a show for us. And it's not a G-Cap mirror, so I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty content with that one, I think. Alright, folks. Round 5 in our best of 9. Boom! As we peek over the parapet once more and take just a gander, just a little bit of a sneak peek and see what our players are doing as the magic missile takes center there, giving a nice bit of coverage there over to Stroker, as he is going to be in a position to force a roll, and unfortunately forced him into the wrong position. Stroker there trying his best here to get these magic missiles to get him some utility, but force back now once again. We are going to see both players here going for this. We do see the crouch attacks come through, as we are going to see a running attack come through there once more, and look at that. Both players have not been hit yet because of slow weapons doing slow weapon things. That offs... what we need to see from the side... No! It's a G-Cat mirror! Asshole! Running attacks coming through here on the side of Stroker as the jump. We do see Isekai taking a nice tasty amount of damage as the crouch attacks come through here. Looking at that, the standing R1s forcing rolls back there on the side of Stroker, but the follow-ups come through. Isekai is very low into that tier proc there. 800 to nearly a full health bar, as we do see the follow-up forcing a trade there once more. Looking at this, the frost proc comes through. The airs look to the skies and fear them, as those jump attacks are going to be able to be a decent punish against the G-Cat, which most of its stuff does struggle with. It goes for another running attack here now once more. We do see the magic missile come out. Is going to punish that air though. Isekai is very, very low. We didn't see a follow-up there. Probably could have gotten the punish. And that's it. Tries to go for some schmicks shenanigans. But no. No way. Was that a tier proc? Was that a tier skip? Sorry? Holy moly! That's nuts! Holy sheesh! I mean, that's how you do it. Alright, both players are chilling. And if you're interested, I'll be hosting these weekly, Nikki. Nikki. I got them, Jesus Christ. Alright, we do have round 6. Kaboom! As we are going to see now, the Grey Cat is out. Force back in now once again. We are going to see just a little bit of tasty damage coming through there. Crouch R1 then comes out, as we are going to see both players trade as they ought to. We do see another running attack come out there once more. And looking at that, look at that interrupt there on Stroker. The damage in Isekai is absolutely insane. Oof, we do see these rolls come out here. Good rollouts on the side of Stroker, who is managing to get a nice tasty amount of damage. The greases are out. Good rolls coming out here on the side of Stroker, but that is insane damage as we're seeing this one slowly but surely be evened out. Goes for running R2 there, but it's not quite going to be enough to connect here, as we see our dear friend caught in a spot of bother. Goes for a running attack. We see a random poise event happen there, actually managing to tank that. Goes for a follow-up. The follow-up getting the anti-air that was needed. That could have been nasty. A jump R2 could have been enough to put Stroker in a very bad spot, as we do see the setup for an attempted tier skip here, using that frost build up there to try and get some extra damage. Isekai is doing a good job, however, he is going to just walk into it. The end attack is real. If you R1 spam from neutral for enough, they will walk into it. Forced back now is Droker, who's stuck in the corner. Will he manage to get out? He isn't, but he is scared of that follow-up, as he might have set up there for a standing R1, but unfortunately does not. Into the trade, that's going to be the Frost proc there, managing to get that, keeping up that pressure. We do see their running attack there to try and catch that. Good run-outs there on the side of it, but the airs come through. Both players are without their tier now. 577 to 690 as time of speaking, but that little bit of regen is going to be costing... It's just going to be very nice here for Zdroker, but he has to be careful. If we see a swap over to Red Feather, it could be all over in just one exchange, as we're going to see the rollout there. Did think about pressing, but elected against it. Not a good position to be in, as we see some good patience here from the side of Seki. And the jump R1 comes through, but it's not going to be enough to connect, as we are going to see the running attacks there come through, try and get that nice final few bits of hit in, or put him in a decision tree that can put him away, as we see the off-stock back. Oh no! And that's going to be Isekai evening it out into a 3-3. Evening it out. Oh me, oh my. And dimensions are both to say yes. This is pretty low lat. Ondo, thank you so much for the raid as you join us for this, the finals, what could very well be a bracket reset. Wee indeed. Neek. Alright, both players are in. Pappenheimer, great name. I love that hilt construction. Very based. Let's get the show on the road. Round 7 and our best of 9. Will we see Zdroker pull this one through, or is the Seki going to be good enough to actually pull this one through as the magic missile comes out there, trying to set up there in center? We might see some shenanigans afoot here. Didn't elect to go from... Oof. Goes for a standing R1 there, is actually able to get some nice damage. The rolling attack comes through there. Eseki caught with his trousers down, but he might be able to find an opportunity to get some good damage in, as we see here the health lead very much in the favor. Eseki possibly caught in menus. The crouch R1 is going to be able to punish that interaction very nicely, as we see the crowd. There we go. Eseki is definitely unprepared for this swap back in now once again, as we are going to see that random poise event count for an awful lot there, catching Zdroker off guard. I believe it's an interactions off of blocks, as we see the rollout there come out on the side of Eseki. We do see a nice little bit of space med. He's not using that opportunity to ball us though, unfortunately. But that is going to be Eseki very low here on the two-handed thrusting sword. Can he mash into it? Uh-oh. Look at that on there. The glintstone shard comes through and gives Zdroker the lead once more. And that is going to be 4-3. And Zdroker's on match point, but I have a feeling this one might go to time, folks. Zdroker 4, Eseki 3. What a match so far. Holy moly. Very nice stuff. And yes, Pappenheimer style hilts on swords are really freaking cool. So I do appreciate that name. Very based. They look so pretty. I actually got my, the reproduction that I have is of Peace in the Wallace collection, and I insisted on adding the Pappenheimer hilt to it because I like my hands. I do not like my hands getting scuffed up because of a fucking open hole in a hilt. It's so terrible. Ugh. Alright, but either way, we're going to look at that. We do see the nice little magic missile coming out here once again. Zdroker is very much in the lead as the hyper armor trait comes through, goes for the follow-up. Forced back in now once again. We do see the health lead immediately in the favor of Zdroker, but only by a very narrow margin. This is going to be very easily turned around, so it's too early to say yet. But we do see the crouch R running attacks coming through here. Is actually going to get that frost proc, which is going to be pretty huge here. We are seeing some very good keepaways. A little bit of kite play coming out here on the side of Eseki, and a good jump out there to try and get away from that damage, as we see once again the magic missile there getting the coverage that is needed. And there you have it. That is going to be that, and the running attack comes through to get that into a crouch poke, into the true combo there of the off-row gears, the off-stock there coming in clutch in this matchup, as we are going to see the magic missile once again getting the anti-air. Into it again! Is he going to be forced back? He is. Isaki is Isekai is just getting roll caught here. The Vortex, but by that into a running attack. Stroker is doing an excellent job there, getting that nice little bit of a poke. And there we go! Is that going to be all she wrote? No, the backswing comes through! Corner pressure wins another one. And the magical missile. Very, very good fights, folks. Very, very nice. Beautiful play from the side of both of our players here. And the explosions ring out through. Very much so. Yes, they have actual tools that they're able to pressure people with, especially in these smaller arenas. Which is really actually kind of nice. We'll see what happens. Sorry, now I have to turn on a light. Oh dear. But it's 90% grav missile. You can do other things with setups using grav missile, but if I'm honest with you, it's not really necessary. Taking just a quick look at the builds, it does seem as though we are going to be on what looks to me to be the Int, of course, and Stroker. Take a look at that, folks, if you're interested in having a good peek at how that pans out. I have to say congratulations to Stroker, who has, as I will update the score, taken the win in a very confident means. Very well played to both, though. You've done SA proud, gents. Done SA proud. And that is you're both on the score list now, so congratulations. You're both no longer allowed to join beginners tourneys. GG's though, shake the hand. Well played. And today was SA's day to shine. So nicely done. Alright. I fucking hate this so much. Why is this here? Why did I make the mistake, folks? What? Why did it change?
Miku, you can call me Miku.
I'm so
hair,
confused.
blue tie.
Here. Do you have a link for the song? I think Jaker, if Jaker is still in chat, or one of his lot. Where did I hide it? BRB screen is here. Alright, I need to fix this for next time. Give me a moment. YouTube. Turn the intro. And there we go. Alright, we fixed it. I'm so confused. Stop. Be a weeb. I wish I was. At least then I'd have an excuse as opposed to it being a shitpost. I think I've watched 5 anime and I've disliked 3 of them. It was pretty good. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, either way, despite me defending myself, I don't think he should do. It's fucking hysterical. Miku is an anime, you're coping out of your fucking mind. You are coping out of your mind. But either way, folks, thank you, first and foremost, to the people who've contributed so nicely to this tournament. Mendobot, of course, for the subs. Osiris J for the gifted and the resub. Stochastic for being a homie. Mburn for the gifts as well. And Valentine Parkour. Thank you all for the support. You're making this so good. And so much. I'm actually blown away by the support, guys. Y'all are absolutely fucking amazing. Second of all, to the players, y'all did an amazing job. To, of course, Darcy Scout, a regular, Osiris, a regular, later Ladle Lover, who unfortunately couldn't make it, Axie, Mburn, Breeze, Esekai, and Zdroker. And a special thank you as well to Zdroker and Esekai for putting on such a fantastic round for us. That was what a way to finish out the tournament. And as I end this here, the 3-5 win to Zdroker. Well done as we end the tournament. Folks, if you're interested in joining, join Endaccord and get into the Initiate tourney. Into Initiate role. You could be in for these weekly tournaments. It is open to players who have not made it into further parts of a bracket. I believe I make the cutoff to be semi-finals. If you haven't made it to semi-finals in a proper bracket, so that is a KHNI tourney, a Den tourney, a Brenna tourney, or an Apecord tourney, you are more than welcome to join. And Ando will soon be added to that list as he's making himself known as quite the tourney host, who I will thank for raiding earlier on, and likewise to Donut for the raid.
And of course to Amelia, to all the Den staff for their works, the Den maps. Look at how pretty these goddamn things are. All of the apps, all of the stuff, all of these things that people do to make hosting tournaments and having fun fight clubs and stuff. Y'all are amazing. And join us next week, because we have a busy week next week, folks. A very, very busy week next week. Next week, of course, we are going to be hosting the Fight Night every Friday, which is an open bracket, which basically is randoms from chat get to come in and fight each other in best of fives. You'll be added to a leaderboard with a small prize after 3 months of these, sorry. Then, of course, the beginners bracket next Thursday, of course, as ever. And then we'll be hosting an EU bracket on Tuesday. So keep your eyes peeled for that in Endecourt. There's no prize pool. Your prize pool is you get priority into future events. Unfortunately, I have no major plans for future events for SA for now. But if community support continues on, if more people come in, and we have an actual bracket that we can put together, I might host one like once in a blue moon for SA. I do have a soft spot for SA. You all have done amazing work, and you get shat on more than you fucking deserve. More than you fucking deserve by us EU and NA laggards. So, good community. I hope to continue doing stuff for you all. Alright, I think that's all she wrote, folks. Love and appreciate you all. We're going to mosey on and find someplace cozy to send you all. For YouTube, thanks for watching. The VOD will be there forever and ever and ever, so you can go check that out. And folks, for me, take care, and I'll see you all when I see you. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Secret YouTube stream, folks. For all of you nerds who are still there. All of you nerds who've been watching for the last little while. Hope you all have a good... I know I don't necessarily talk to you all that much, but, you know, we'll try and make a change in that in future. We might host some YouTube excessive stuff, but, alright. Take care, everyone. I just said I'd say hi to you all, because I know you don't get